All right, what's going on, Los Angeles? I hate the expression hump day. Maybe Doug likes it. Happy hump day, pal.
Yeah.
Is that do you like that? I had a producer who loved hump day.
Hump day, I'm here for it.
I don't know.
You don't like it?
You know what? I like it now.
I'm more
you like it.
I'm more of I like calling Thursday, Friday, Junior than a hump day.
Wow.
Yeah.
To me, they're connected, and I don't like either.
The hump day, yeah. I think of a
Friday
camel right away.
Junior's the sequel of hump day.
It is, yeah.
It's D-Mac and Reiter.
Let's hit it,
Breaking
baby.
down how to say days of the week here. Presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. You can call us, 855-97-LA-FAN. We're on the stream over on YouTube, at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. Go hang out there, check it out. I don't know who is feeling worse today. The Dodgers, after another loss against a good team in brutal fashion. We'll get into the stranding of Shohei Ohtani, or my partner, who's a warrior, who's here, despite the fact you do not feel great today.
You know what, though? You have healing powers. Yeah,
I do.
Prescription Bill Reiter has made me feel a lot better. But yes, you're right. I do not know what I ate, but your boy has been food poisoned and just not being great. You guys have all been there. You guys know what I'm going through. I got the sweats, but I'm a gamer. This is my flu game, baby. Nothing can keep me out of this chair.
Can I give you a theory?
Yo.
There was a theory it was the Indian food yesterday. There was a theory it was the shrimp pasta. I think because you have lived and breathed Dodgers with more expertise and insight than any other media member or person out there in recent memory, that you're actually having a physical reaction, an illness-born reaction to the way in which the Dodgers lost yesterday. You know, for people that don't, Dodgers played the Braves, big series, another good baseball team. It's kind of a test after a 6-game winning streak against lesser opponents. And the Dodgers got fine outings from Tyler Glasnow. We hit it yesterday because it happened during the show. We can do it again. They end up losing 4-3, but Shohei Ohtani leads off the ninth with a triple and it just felt like inevitable that Ohtani would cross the plate. How do you have the heart of the order coming up in Freddie and Mookie and Tommy Edman, I think was the other guy, and not get Ohtani across the plate to at least tie the game, extend into extra innings if you can get out of the bottom of the ninth? Freddie strikes out. Mookie grounds out weakly to the shortstop, basically at the pitcher's mound, so he can look back Ohtani, and then Edman flew out. I mean, dude, I know it's one baseball game, and I have lots of thoughts about how I think I'm actually not catastrophizing. I think it's a question about how good this Dodgers team is right now. But all that aside, what a painful, brutal, terrible way to lose a baseball game.
It really was, because, Bill, we talked about getting the hits, getting on. They did get 10 hits, but they did not all lead to runs. You had some nice offense from Alek Thomas. He came through. But you mentioned it. Shohei Ohtani did exactly what you wanted him to do. Outside to hit a home run, hits a triple to lead off that inning, and the Dodgers had who they wanted at the plate to cash in with the tying run 90 feet away. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. You had Max Muncy. They intentionally walk him, and then Tommy Edman, who's better from the right side than he is from the left side. He ends up flying out to center field to end the game. And yes, it is just one game. Yes, this is something to feel encouraged about when you look at Tyler Glasnow's outing yesterday. But we talked about this yesterday.
I'm going to go negative.
You go negative?
By the way, when you're done.
Okay, well.
Hyper negative. You go first.
Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, since they started charting runners in scoring position batting average, they're two of the best all time. They're top 15. They're two of the best all time. Freddie's still hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position this year, but Mookie Betts hitting 202 with runners in scoring position this season.
Mookie frets. Makes me fret.
Mookie Butts. That's how he looked. And it was the plan. It was the plan in that at-bat. You got to elevate. You have to get something in the air. And the more I think about this, we spend all day, every day, talking about this rotation. I've dubbed it the murderer's rotation.
You have.
More aces than a deck of
you
cards.
You just quoted yourself.
I did.
I like it.
But what are we talking about? Remember, you bring up the 90s Braves all the time. And I love that, right? The Maddox, the Glavine, the Smoltz. We talk about 2011 Phillies team. That team lost in the NLDS. The Braves team won just one World Series. This team's going to have to find a way to manage consistent offense. You can't rely solely on great starting pitching, and the offense had an opportunity yesterday to step up, and they failed miserably in a bad way.
Can I give you, it's D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. The Dodgers took a 6-game winning streak and squandered an opportunity to make a statement against people like me who say, they're just beating up on bad teams. And all right, I'm going to give you my two sort of primary takeaways. And I'm going to do a little bit of Doug McCain-ism. I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
Oh, yeah. What?
What? No?
Yeah, okay.
Well, you're right all the time.
Hey, victory laps, baby.
Yeah, I like
Beep,
victory
beep.
laps. Number one, this one's going to be a little more of a stretch, so I'm going to save the big one for here in a little bit here on the program with my guy D-Mac, who's toughing it out. You cannot tell me, I'm not saying you, because we're aligned, even though you talked me into this and then criticized me for it. That's fine. You cannot tell me as a general Dodgers person that Ohtani has to be in the leadoff spot because of all the math reasons, and then have this guy get a leadoff triple, and then have 2, 3, 4 be unable to get him 90 feet. To me, and I know this doesn't add up entirely, this is why I need Ohtani in the 2 or the 3 hole. I don't, and it's the end of the game, and it's happenstance that it happened here, because obviously the only time you're guaranteed that Ohtani's going to lead off an inning is the very start of the game, is the first frame for the I got it. But it's just, I would rather have Ohtani up with somebody on base, potentially, than... And the other thing is, with Ohtani on third base, the irony is, like, all you have to do is do the minimum, is just elevate the ball, get the ball into the outfield, hit the ball to the right side of the field, do some... I almost swore, dude. Get a freaking single. Ohtani in leadoff, I think, has squandered so many opportunities this year, and literally, even when he does everything but get a home run, a guy hits a triple, they can't get him across the plate. If that doesn't tell me Ohtani should be somewhere else in the batting average, I don't know what will.
That's the way to look at it. I mean, it's
I know it's a stretch.
But
my first thought, dude, when he got on third base, I'm like, if this guy doesn't get across the plate
If you're trying to make that argument, that inning gives you a lot of ammunition, right? Because he's right there, he's dying at third base, he's trying to score, and you have this inept offense. But the other way to look at it for me is, none of these other guys can really produce offense consistently. If Mookie Betts is batting leadoff, yes, there's a theory that he might get more protection because that pitcher knows that Ohtani's batting right behind him.
It's more like if just Freddie draws something occurs where, like, just get a guy on base.
I think, look, I remember I was sitting...
These guys, my point is, the crux of my argument, Steve Mack and Reiter, is that Ohtani can drive in runs. And that the Dodgers have, what you've done to me. The Dodgers have squandered opportunities to drive in runs because Ohtani is turned into the guy that scores the runs, not the guy that drives the runs in as part of their plan and process. And as evidenced by the fact 15 of his 30 home runs, as we discuss all the time, are solo shots where he led off the game with a home run. Okay. And literally, the people charged with driving him in, because he's the leadoff hitter, were unable to get him 90 feet. I mean, it's totally unacceptable.
Yeah, it's atrocious offense. I mean, you got to come through. You have to find a way to have a better approach. And that's really what scares me about this team is they're so reliant on slug. We've talked about this year that when they don't hit home runs, they're a 50-win team.
But in this case, you didn't need a slug. You just needed to
But that bleeds into the approach. If you look at the plan there,
an UGG to the right.
There's too many big swings in that situation.
No, you're
you
right.
need to shorten your approach. You need to find a way to put the ball in play. And I think from Shohei Ohtani's standpoint, look, we talked about the extra plate appearances, right? If you have Superman, do you make him wait when you don't need to? And if he does hit a leadoff home run, the Dodgers usually win. So I think one of the big takeaways we've seen from this season is, yes, there's a good amount of comeback wins, but this is not a Dodgers team that really gets punched in the mouth well, at least for this season, and is able to come back offensively and score some runs. It's not in their identity. The Dodgers win 77% of the games this year when they score first. They didn't score first yesterday.
But that's
they
such
took the L.
By the way, Freddie Freeman, this is my pet topic here on D-Mac and Reiter. Freddie Freeman, 2-hole 0-for-5.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
0-for-5.
Okay, here's my bigger takeaway, though. Here's my bigger thing, and I'm very curious your view on this. Yesterday with you, and quite a bit with James Coe last week, I made the case that the Dodgers might not be that good right now. And this evidence I pointed to was the fact they were under 500 while you were in Barcelona last week. There was a point Tuesday, Wednesday, where they were an under 500 team going back to July 1st. We had all the stats. Then they won 6 games in a row. And there was a reasonable perspective, like, people like Reiter being negative, that she's chicken littles, the sky's not falling, it's fine. Can I just, after the game last night, can I give you what I think is a pretty astounding stat?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Going back to July 31st, so all of August and then the first game of a series, against winning baseball teams, against Boston, the Cubs, the Diamondbacks, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. So going back to the end of basically this month plus the day of July, the Dodgers are 2-12. 0-3 against the 73 and 59 Boston Red Sox. 0-3 against the 76 and 57 Cubs. 1-2 in that 3-game series against the 70-63 Diamondbacks. They obviously lost 3 out of 4. They won 1, they lost 3 against Milwaukee. And now in this series, and there's games to go against the whatever they are, 77-55 Atlanta Braves, they're 0-1. They are 2-12 against winning baseball teams this month. They are 9-0 against bad baseball teams. Cool, they swept the Royals, who were in last place in the American League Central. Cool, they swept the Rockies, barely, by the way, in some of these games, who are in last place, in the West. And they swept the Pirates, who are, what are they, second to last, I think, they're 4, 5, 6 games under 500. I'm worried the Dodgers, going back to July 1, just aren't very good.
Look, you point out the stats, right? I mean, this season, they have an under 500 record against winning teams. I think they're 31-33, and then they've dominated against bad teams, 50-18. So we've seen
Are there bad teams in the playoffs? I'm trying to remember how it works.
I mean, there's something. I mean, the Reds weren't great last year, but when you get to the top, so I was just about to bring that up, and to your point, what separates good teams, great teams from bad teams? Starting pitching, relief pitching. And when the Dodgers run into better relief pitching and better starting pitching, that's when the offense looks overmatched. That's when the bats start to look old. That's when we bring up this point that I've talked about all season long, where basically this entire roster is having a down year offensively. That includes the unicorn, Shohei Ohtani. So they're going to have to find a way to get their act together with the bat. I think the thing that scares me at this point, though, is we've seen this trend where they've gone through these dry spells, they've struggled against good teams, but they still have been able to hit home runs. This year, that mark has gone down, so I don't think the Dodgers...
You've been calling this for
I don't
months,
think
dude.
they realize the team they are now, and they think that it's going to come back, but is it too late to change the spots on a Dalmatian, right? Is it too late to maybe take a different approach? Because that is when this Dodgers team is at its best. You are not going to see Mookie Betts going 2-3 run home runs. You cannot wait around for Freddie Freeman to hit that big home run. Bill, Freddie Freeman, since the All-Star break, 48 hits. 40 of those 48 hits are singles. Just 8 doubles, no triples, no home runs. Yeah. No bombs since July 4th.
His last home run was, America's 250th birthday.
Yeah, where's the fireworks from Freddie? He left him on Independence Day. So it's a struggle.
You're my hero beating right now.
It's an absolute struggle for me. So
struggling.
I do definitely think that this is a team that needs to maybe just have that hitters meeting, recalibrate what it looks like from an approach standpoint. Because if they're just going to sit there,
it's a strategy that I think this is an Andrew Friedman thing.
It is. It's their philosophy. They're built to slug. This roster's built to slug.
And you know what? And they could bring me in, and maybe it wouldn't work.
Yeah,
I get some singles, maybe.
No, exactly.
If the players can't slug, then you can't be built.
This would be like if the Splash Brothers Warriors stop hitting threes. And you're like, oh, what do we do now? Like, we're built to hit threes. That's how we win, right? It's like a boxer that goes for big knockout punches, right? It's tough to, when you've had this level of success that they've had, to kind of change now. But I think, I don't want to pin this solely on him, but Will Smith coming back, he comes back, he's locked into the 2-hole for me.
I had a home run, was 1 for 3, caught for 5 innings, threw a guy out in his...
Yeah, threw a guy out? Why did you point that out, baby?
I got you.
Yeah, you love the D. You love the defense. You hit the catcher side. Okay, cue it up again. It's like the shower thing from yesterday.
No, it's not. I'm just letting you talk. You are sweating.
Oh, yeah.
You look like Mookie Betts when Mookie Betts had asked a reasonable question, which we'll get into an hour. I'm going after Mookie Betts later, by the way.
Yeah. So now you're back on the bad bet side?
We're going to do it and I'm going to let him speak for himself.
Yeah, no.
Look, I don't even mean offensively. I just mean how he answers reasonable questions.
Yeah.
Hey, Mookie, what time is it? You think I'd have a watch? I can see the watch on your...
He was a little salty yesterday. He was a little salty yesterday.
So this is the thing, and I actually don't know the answer. And if you're listening and you think you do, whether the Dodgers are a really good baseball team or not, 855-97-LA fan, 855-975-2326, or get in the chat over on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. I'm not trying to be a hot take guy. I hate that stupid expression. I'm not trying to say things I don't think. I've been watching Dodgers games nonstop for this season. You've been doing it for much, much, much longer as part of this gig. You and I have discussed how much we both love watching baseball, and they don't impress, man. And the fact that they have a losing record, as you pointed out, against 500 teams this year, against winning ball clubs, the fact that going back to July 31st, they're 2-12 against the good baseball teams that they faced, the fact that they beat the holy hell, I guess they swept 3 times very bad baseball teams mixed into this month, but they didn't look impressive in those outings. And the fact is, you've said, they're doing this with an incredible starting rotation. I know there's no Ohtani, But Roki's been amazing since the break. And Yoshi's one of the best pitchers in baseball. And Blake Snell, it's just 2 outings since he came back from the IL, has been maybe the best pitcher for the Dodgers starting rotation since Snell returned. And even, I know we hit it yesterday. Maybe you have a different view 24 hours later. Glass now, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, shaky early, 6 hits. He struck out 7, didn't walk anybody if I remember right. I mean, the rotation's really good, dude, and they're still losing. They can't beat good baseball teams.
They can't. And you're absolutely right. I think the number one thing to be encouraged by yesterday was Tyler Glasnow looked like a flat-out ace. After that first inning, when he gave up those 3 runs, he allowed 4 singles, not a lot of hard contact. They weren't barreling him up. But after that inning, he was incredible. I mean, he had 35 pitches in that first inning, 54 down the stretch for those final 4. He ended up getting a ton of punch-outs in that second inning, 7 strikeouts for the game. And the thing I love,
that
too,
knuckle curve.
That knuckle curve was,
I'm
Clayton Kershaw calling it disgusting.
Yeah.
Kersh
was so good.
Kersh was fantastic.
Kersh was the highlight of the whole thing, by the way.
Well, yeah, him and Glasnow. You know what I love about Kersh yesterday was him
good.
talking about Kyle Tucker. And the reason why I segue to Kyle Tucker is every time we have this conversation, every time we get into this about the Dodgers, I'll tell you this, the Dodgers are not going to win the World Series this year with big home runs. They're going to have to find another way to score in big moments. The chance of you getting home runs in Game 7 like that are just unlikely, and Kyle Tucker is the guy that needs to step up, so there's less pressure on Mookie, on Will Smith, on Freddie Freeman, and Max Muncy, and Teo, and all these guys.
Ohtani in a different spot in the lineup. He does have slug. He will slug. He will hit the ball out of the ballpark. He will drive the ball into the gap.
Yeah, but do you want Shohei to be at the play with 1 out? Because that's what it's going to look like.
You're the
Mookie's
one that sold me on this.
I'm over it now. I'm keeping my best hitter because he's the only guy I can trust.
Oh,
he's
my
the
God,
only
this
guy
is
I can truly
classic you.
trust.
Would you get a note from the bathroom from Freeman? Change your view.
I mean, look, I'm open to it.
You talked me into it.
Yeah, because yesterday's scared the living crap out of me once again by looking at a team that just cannot find a way to put the ball in play when they need to in big spots.
I mean, Freddie Freeman is hitting 331. I have to redo the numbers, but he's hitting 328 to 331 when he's not in the 2-hole. Put him, someone else in the chat said the same thing. Put him in leadoff like I called for, my radical fix. Maybe the guy just gets a little single and then Ohtani comes up and drives him in. You're the one that sold me on Ohtani in the 2-hole.
Yeah, but
you're betraying me.
If you want to call us a betrayal, if you can call this
a betrayal.
A different take based on new information.
It's a betrayal.
This is a new
What's
take.
The new information?
The new information was just last night. I think it's very clear at this point. Wow. They have one. The Dodgers have one superstar hitter, and that's the big thing about this team, Bill. The difference between the 2026 Dodgers and the 2024 and the 2025 Dodgers is their superstars have been downgraded 2 stars, right? Freddie Freeman's not a superstar anymore. Mookie Betts isn't a superstar anymore. They have one superstar, and his name's Shohei Ohtani. They only win games when they score first, and if he gets a leadoff home run, great chance they're going to win. If he hits a double and someone drives him in, great chance they're going to win. But if you have Shohei going to the plate where you have automatic out Mookie, Freddie Freeman hitting singles, let's say Shohei's batting second.
Now you're down on Mookie.
I'm down on.
You just call him automatic out Mookie.
I'm down on everyone that didn't hit the triple yesterday.
D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I don't know what's more impressive or what I'm more captivated by, I should say. How good that radio just was for my partner D-Mac, or the fact that I have a 50% level of certainty you're going to pass out because he has food poisoning.
What is Celsius, by the way? I take it I'm shaking. I've had my first Celsius.
Celsius?
It's a drink. I thought it was supposed to be like cough medicine.
You have enough natural energy. You don't need that.
That was probably a mistake.
Doug.
Yeah.
At 3:30.
Okay.
We're going to do a segment on Luka Doncic and the Lakers and how you are often, not you, but like the world can be motivated to greater. Aaron, you got to put the call in the call back for me, buddy, so I can see who it is. So yeah, we got people calling in 855-97 LA
Light
fan.
it up, baby.
855-97 LA fan. We're going to talk about Luka Doncic and his breakup and how in the past there have been athletes, personal life, professional life, feeling wrong where they go to other levels. And I have a list of who those people are, and I'm adding my name. Because I'm going to do the best radio of my life the next 2 months because you, who I respect more than any Dodgers person, spent 3 months talking to me into Ohtani not being the leadoff hitter, and the minute I get there, you do what you do. You're like, why would you do that? Why would you? Listen to me. What? I feel betrayed.
I don't like to agree with you generally, unless it's about Barcelona.
You're not. I'm agreeing with you.
No, we switch it up.
No, you're not agreeing with me. You don't ever agree with me.
Okay, but
I'm agreeing with you. I'm going, Doug, good call. And you go, bad call.
I am. So how about
doopsie okie dokie?
Okay.
You pulled a whoopsie doopsie okie dokie.
All right, slap myself in the face.
All right, we're gonna get this call. Aaron, it's all good, buddy. Just tell me who it is real quick. David from LA, appreciate you listening, pal. You're in the middle of an argument. Now you're in part. You're in it. You're on D-Mac and Reiter. What's up?
What's up, fellas? Let's go. Let's have this argument. But you know what? I'm calling about this Dodgers bullpen.
Okay.
You know, our 1, 2, 3 and potential 4 with Ohtani on paper, it just looks insane. I mean, when you look at it, you think, oh my God, we should be in good hands. But you know what? I'm not sure what it is with the bullpen. I mean, the guys need to wake up. Somehow, somebody or something needs to light a fire under these guys so they can wake up. Last season, when I was watching a Dodgers game, most of the games, it was like, all right, we're good. We got this. No big deal. But this season, it's kind of like, we don't know which way it's going to go. I kind of want to feel like, you know, the next 2 games, the Dodgers are going to win, but I have a feeling Rocky's going to get lit up today. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it could happen. But, you know, it just, I don't know. The bullpen needs to wake up somehow. I mean, somebody needs to slap them upside the head or something and say, hey, wake up. We need you guys. You know, we can't just utilize our 1, 2, 3. Like I said, you know, it could be, you know, Snell, Glasnow, and Yamamoto. I mean, I'm saying the order wrong, but, you know, those are our 3. And then the 4th one could be Ohtani, which sounds amazing, but we can't use these 4 guys constantly in the playoffs. We need the bullpen, or else I don't think we're going to be doing much. And it sucks to say that.
Dave in LA, it's a hell of a call. Great stuff. And it gets me to a question I want to ask my partner here. What are the real things that worry Doug? I'll give you mine too, about this Dodgers team. And maybe wherever you're listening, the answer is there aren't any. What are your concerns out there? What is the depth of your concerns? Is it bullpen? Is it the offense? Is it listening to Doug? Because when I agree with him, then he goes a different direction. We'll talk about it together. 855-97 LA fan. The real worries, if you think there are any, for this Dodgers team next year on D-Mac and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. Doug McCain, Bill Reiter, D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. How good are the Dodgers? What are the things you're worried about, if any? They are 2-12 against winning baseball teams since July 31st. They are 9-0 against the Royals, Rockies, and Pirates, also known as the dredges of the of Major League Baseball. Let's go to Mike in Riverside. Mike, appreciate you, pal. What's going on? You're on D-Mac and Ryder.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, pal.
I'm not really worried about the team still because let's face it, they did this stuff last year. Okay, they could not beat the Cubs. They could not beat the Phillies. They couldn't even beat the Brewers. Remember, they blew a 5-0 lead against the Phillies in LA last year. The Cubs went into LA last year and beat them 16-0. And then the Brewers, of course, we all know they swept them in the regular season. They could not hang out with them either. And then in the regular season, they beat two of those teams. And let's face it, two of these past games that that when they were playing against like the Brewers and the Diamondbacks, one of those reasons why they lost was because Diaz was the closer and he blew those games. So if Roberts had taken them out or not, he had to use them, they actually would have won.
See, that makes me worry about the bullpen a little bit, though, Mike. Thanks for the call, dude. Like, I totally hear you. So here's my, Doug, you bring this up a lot, and you're right, and Mike's right. There is a history for the Dodgers that lends optimism to what are pessimistic moments. I just don't think the past is prologue in sports. Just because a team, the Dodgers are one of those teams, won in a very unique, difficult-to-achieve fashion in the past doesn't mean that it's going to happen again. Just because the Dodgers got their asses handed to them by a bunch of teams in yesteryear and still won a World Series doesn't mean they can do it again. My concern is it showed a margin that's problematic, and as the roster ages and the bullpen becomes worrisome, maybe that margin becomes something you don't overcome next time.
Yeah, and I think the bullpen is certainly something to consider. I was talking to someone within the Dodgers last couple of days, and the two names they told me were Seth Halverson early September and Chris Bubich as a potential impact arm. You're going to get Roki Sasaki going to shift to the bullpen. Justin Robleski's going to go to the bullpen. You're going to have that explosive potential Game 4 start with Shohei Ohtani and Glass now, and then hopefully Edwin Diaz comes back and performs. Tanner Scott, I think yesterday, struggled with that double that he gave to Olsen. I think Dave Roberts put him in a tough spot by putting Albies up there. Albies a clutch hitter, getting that base hit. I don't have a ton of trust in Tanner Scott, considering that he's never done that for the Dodgers in the postseason. That is be a lights-out reliever. But for me, it goes back to the offense. I mean, to me,
that's your concern.
That is my number one concern.
I think that's really interesting, dude.
They're going to they always find arms, right? They always find arms. They have the best. They literally have the very best collection of starting pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball. Guys that you can trust are 4, 5, 6, 7 innings. Yamamoto, Snell, they've shown they can go 8 or 9 innings. They are going to put up zeros in the postseason. The big question is, can the offense come alive? And I think, Bill, we need to start having the uncomfortable conversation where maybe it's not, hey, will this offense wake up? Maybe it's, hey, this is what this offense is. An offense that is chasing what it used to be. And I love how you always bring that up because that's always the go-to, right? We did it last year. We'll do it again.
Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work the way. The pass is a resume. It's not a reservation, right? And that's the thing about this. That's the thing about this.
It doesn't matter if this man has food poisoning. He's loquacious, baby.
And then the thing is, too, Bill, last year, they were top 3. They had the second most home runs in Major League Baseball. Right now, they're anywhere between 8 and 10. They're not slugging. They're not hitting. They're not doing what they've done offensively.
Dropping, by the way.
And, Bill, at what point is it, hey, this is one extended 3-year season, and you're starting to see age, you're starting to see attrition, and these guys look like they're on fumes at the plate. And guess what? When you're older, when you played a lot of baseball, it gets tougher to hit fastballs because it's quick twitch.
Can I make a quick point? But I'm worried that you're going to tell me I'm wrong because it's your point.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I want to make a point that you just kind of made that is something that I believe because you've convinced me of it. But the last thing you convinced me of, Ohtani, the go to the 2-hole, then you came after me. And I know because it was 12 minutes ago. You just said it, so it probably works. I just wanted to make
Yeah, I feel
the main point.
It's okay.
The thing is, and to Mike, by the way, there's a world where Mike in Riverside and the other folks in the chat at the Fan LA and people that are listening on the FM and calling in at 855-97 LA Fan who are unified in, you guys are overreacting, or maybe you're reacting fine, Bill and Doug, but the Dodgers are going to be okay. There's a world where that happens because the starting pitching is so good. And they have the best player in baseball, on top of that as part of that. So I get it. But you've said this so many times that this is the oldest position group in baseball. And I've brought this up a lot the last few weeks because A, credit where it's due, and B, when you criticize me for it, I want to remind you is your perspective, and C, I think it's really smart. Jokes aside, I think it's really, really smart. 3 months ago, before we went on the air, you said at some point we'll have to talk about this Dodgers this sort of position group being so old that it's a huge issue. Maybe it's this year, maybe it's next year, maybe it's after that. But just as a good colleague, you prepared me. You're just be aware of this and keep an eye on it. And so every time that the offense becomes mid, and it's been less than mid, it's been in the bottom third since July 1st. Every time I kind of look, I go, wow, they haven't beaten. They've only won 2 of their 14 games in the last 3-4 weeks against good baseball teams. I think about you saying that all the way back in March or April. That maybe the Dodgers team that people are accustomed to overcoming some doldrums in the regular season, that Dodgers team doesn't exist anymore because Mookie doesn't exist that way and Teo doesn't exist that way. And even though Freddie's hits the ball, makes solid contact and hits a lot of singles, he's not driving. He doesn't have slug, as you like to say. I love it. I mean, even Ohtani is not the offensive all-time superstar in an individual season that he was last year. I am worried this is a greatly altered, as you have pointed out, team because of their age and some other issues offensively, and that plus a tricky bullpen. And I hear you guys, maybe Rookie figures it out, but Edwin Diaz was the closer. So when he blows a game, it counts.
It does. It really does. And I think that a lot of times, especially guys like us that are so into the weeds on this stuff, it does feel like, hey, maybe we're trying to spot that pimple on the supermodel, right? And that we're trying to say, oh, this is something where you don't have to overemphasize it. But the reality is that, yes, by record, you look at this team, second best record in the National League. They could finish with the best record in baseball. But the warning signs have been there all season as far as the offense goes. And don't listen to me. Don't listen to Bill. Look at what Andrew Friedman did. He would not have added Kyle Tucker if they didn't have concerns about where this offense was trending. Can you believe this? You talked about this all year. The importance of Andy Pages, Max Muncy. If it weren't for those two guys who've combined for almost 10 wins, this team, they would be a wild card team. They would be a wild card team, and there was no way for them to. There's a good point. They would be like the Padres from a wins total. There was no way that heading into the season you could write down and pencil it, we're getting this from Andy Pages offensively, we're getting this from Max Muncy offensively. Thankfully, a credit to those guys. They're studs, and they stepped up, but they have masked a lot of the deficiencies of a lot of the guys that are supposed to produce. And then what is everyone else saying, right? Will Smith, when he comes back.
Speedster 2000 just said this. Second best clutch hitter after Max Muncy, Speedster 2000. Smart point in the chat.
I would say Will Smith is one of the most clutch players in all of professional sports right now. The clutch prince, right? This guy's ridiculous.
But can you expect the clutch prince to rule the same way if he hasn't been in his kingdom for a half minute?
Bang, there you go.
Bang!
And when he was in that kingdom, he was having a down year. He was 4%, last time I checked, top of my head, 4% above league average offensively before he went down. He's caught a lot. So this puts a lot of pressure for Will Smith to come back and save this team.
It really does.
It was supposed to be so Will Smith, he impacts the game defensively and what he can do in the batter's box, right? Then there's guys like Teoscar Hernandez and Kike Hernandez and guys like Kyle Tucker that they are supposed to be producing offensively along with Mookie Betts and the rest of this lineup, and they're just not doing it against good teams. And until we see it for an extended stretch, I think we just have to say this is a team that offensively looks older. They aren't as effective. They're not as good in clutch situations. And sure, maybe they can turn it on. Maybe they can flip that switch. But it's not going to be easy to three-peat, man. That's why only 4 teams have done it.
Their last 5 series against winning baseball teams, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 2-12. They did not beat the Boston Red Sox in a 3-game series. They did not beat the Chicago Cubs in a 3-game series. They won 1 of 3 against the Diamondbacks, who obviously they need to be markedly better than. They beat the Brewers only a single time in a 4-game series. Now, the Brewers are the best team You put the Dodgers maybe in baseball, certainly the National League, but that's the standard. Because the Dodgers, as my partner just pointed out, are not supposed to be the Padres. You're not supposed to go, oh, shucks, we lost 3 out of 4 to Milwaukee, but maybe we'll get them next time after we're done selling part of the team to the younger Bus brothers, which we'll get to later in the show. It's not the end of the world, but there are real worries, man.
Yeah, there are. And one thing I wanted to bring up, too, is, and kind of add another layer to this conversation, is just generally hitting a Major League Baseball is different. I was talking to a former player, and he didn't like something I said recently, who played kind of years ago, and I was saying, yeah, probably the offense is down because pitchers are more nasty these days. And he was like, no, they're not, blah, blah, blah. There are still so many, they're as nasty in my day as they are now, right? The Randy Johnsons, the Pedro Martinez's, all those guys. But the difference is the approach is different. Bill, I looked it up this morning. The league-wide batting average right now is 244. That would be the 9th lowest in the history of Major League Baseball. The ninth lowest.
I hate this trend, by the way.
And what is that trend, though, right? It's not, doesn't mean the pitchers, I mean, yes, the pitchers are nasty, but they're not throwing with sticky stuff anymore, right? They don't have that ability. What they're doing is too many big swings because guess what?
Yep.
Big swings get you big dollars.
Launch angle, baby.
Launch angle, baby.
I'm going to strike out or get a home run or walk.
Jig the long ball. Boom. Sorry.
By the way, I wrote this. I know we've got a time thing. We're going to keep talking Dodgers. A lot of you are in the chat. Hit that like button for us. Subscribe if you want to call in, 855-97-LA-FAN. Several of you have questions for us, so if we don't get to those now, we'll get to those in the mailbag at 5:30, so keep dropping them in the comment section. Just, dude, you have food poisoning. You're barely functioning, and you're still dropping magic like pimple on that supermodel.
Hey, that's what it feels
that
like,
was
though.
good, dude.
That's what it feels like.
But here's the thing. Maybe there's 12 pimples.
Oh.
Maybe things are changing.
Maybe they need to be a little more proactive.
Hey,
if you know what I mean.
Soap.
Yeah. Come on, zit face
Dodgers?
offense. We pop those pimples.
So, oh, dear God. There's an Ohtani point and a challenge to Doug from the chat at the Fan LA. We will get into that along with our Hero of the Day nominees and more Dodgers talk next year on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. You can also text injury up to 40222. This is from EZ213. I just want you to respond to it if it's fair or not fair on either front. You know who's not clutch? Ohtani. He's been very mid in the playoffs. Some would say a front runner. But D-Mac ain't going to talk about that. What you got, bro?
He has plus numbers with runners in scoring position, but I think from a perception standpoint, it does look and feel that way just because he's not put in those situations as much. As Bill pointed out at the top of the show, that triple looks very different if there's a runner on base and it leads to a game-tying run there. But
Yep.
I will say this. I will say this, though.
I like it when you quote me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I will say this to his point, though. There was the home run that he hit off Dylan Cease in Game 1 of the NLDS in 2024 that got the Dodgers back in that one. They would win that Game 1 and would have to come all the way back just to win in 5. But outside of that, he hasn't had that signature postseason moment, and sometimes that's all it takes for your brand, for your reputation to be, hey, I'm clutch. Remember Corey Seager?
You've been calling for that, man.
Yeah, and that's what I want. That's what I desperately want.
Yeah.
Like, I want that World Series master cut? Like, he's going to be in there for the 3 home runs, the 10 strikeouts, right? But a master cut of that
two of the
moment.
best games in
He
history, and both are in the postseason.
He does, but they blew that team out, though. It's not like he was at the plate. And
I know.
He was clutch. The
No,
numbers,
it's real. You're not wrong.
He needs that signature moment. I think that if you are a Dodgers fan, you understand that this team has been extremely inept at times offensively. Corey Seager was terrible in the postseason before 2020. Went into God mode, completely just tore up that postseason. Now he's Mr. Clutch. So it's not like he's been bad in the postseason, but I do think we're on the lookout for that just signature moment. I think the regular season, though, you look at the numbers, he still has an OPS over 900. I mean, he has been good during the scoring position.
There's lots of thoughts in the chat, and there's lots of perspective. BL Boyd dropping some facts, hasn't had a walk-off winning hit since 4-2-25, rushing had 2 in the first 10 days, replacing Smith. He calls him Dak Prescott, which is funny. Here's the thing. I have zero doubts that Ohtani is capable of it. I have zero doubts that put in that position, Ohtani can and will come through for the Dodgers. My doubts are about the players at the bottom of the lineup being on base often enough to create that opportunity for Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
It's not fair for Ohtani to have to come up and have to hit a 3-run home run with nobody on base.
Exactly.
That's not a thing that you can do. And maybe I'm being a little bit of a Shohei homer, but for me, the World Baseball Classic moment, he was a pitcher, but where he struck out Trout, that is one of the most high-pressure, high-leverage, oh-my-God moments I can think of in sports. You're doing it for your country. You're playing your teammate. He is considered the best player in baseball along with you at the time. And that was several years ago. And it was an epic at-bat. I think Ohtani's got it in him.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he definitely has got it in him.
Some guys don't, by the way.
Look,
Kershaw didn't, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, not every great does.
I remember talking to Chris Taylor about this, and Chris Taylor told me that in the postseason, you can just stand next to a guy and know if he has it or not. Like, you can feel it coming out of their pores.
He said that to you?
He told me that.
That's pretty
and I was
cool.
like, yeah, that's pretty wild because he's a guy who had big hits in the postseason. Kike Hernandez, big hits in the postseason. Regular season, they're not superstars, right? They're not all-stars, although Chris Taylor did make one all-star team.
The truth.
Exactly, he was. Taylor was a thing, baby. And I think for Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers really need the bottom of the lineup to have that number 8 or 9 hitter almost act as a second leadoff hitter, get on base, put pressure on the hitters.
Dude, this is crazy. This guy that I've heard of named Doug McCain
I don't remember
told
that.
me a few months ago. You do remember. You said you do remember it. That's a lie. You do remember.
Well, I don't want to have to
remember it.
No, because I remember it. Of course, I said it. I'm guilty.
Okay.
I'm guilty. I'll take the L. But I was just trying to be nice because I was trying to be nice to myself because I was trying to just maybe just be a little more open-minded. Okay. Be more open-minded about the idea of having him in the 2-hole.
What are the words you're saying?
The words I'm saying is the reason why I'm back on keep Shohei at the leadoff spot.
It's because I said I agreed with you. That's what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. And
Why don't you want to agree with me?
Okay, I'll agree.
I'm a great guy.
We agree to agree.
You want him to be you really want him to be in the leadoff spot.
I do because this is a front-running team. I think it's too late to just change their approach. I think this team really is what it is. I mean, I think you're not going to change the stripes on this Tiger for the Dodgers. I really, truly believe that this team is going to be predicated on early leads, slug, great starting pitching, and really clutch relievers, and hopefully timely home runs and timely hits. But having Shohei at the leadoff spot with his ability to go deep, with his ability to be a dynamic base runner. He had 2 stolen bases over the weekend. And the wheels, Bill, you have to admit, those wheels look pretty good going to third.
I admit nothing.
You admit nothing?
They did.
So,
I'm
yeah.
not pulling you.
Yeah. They look really
No,
good.
he did look good.
So if you get that, if we
turned
get
it
the
on.
9th inning version of Shohei Ohtani yesterday, that's the perfect leadoff hitter. And the reason why I don't want to have Shohei Ohtani go and move down is because I think that is an easy way out for the rest of the lineup. I think that is a crutch for the rest of the lineup. It's like, okay, I'm Shohei. I'm going to do all the work on the group project. You guys are going to put your name on it, and you're going to hope you're getting an A. That's not going to happen in this situation. They need to step up. They need to find a way to have some more offense, because here's the thing, too. You're the guy who told me Shohei says jump and you say how high. Like that Shohei gets what he wants, that we do whatever Shohei wants. Shohei wants to be a leadoff hitter, and that probably matters to you, I'm guessing.
Well, what I said was that he runs things with the Dodgers. It doesn't mean that I would let him run where he's at in the lineup. And we were referring to, but you're right, like to overcome it.
But
and
if
then
Shohei
you said
wants
to me, too bad. So I'll see you're quoting me. And
So
quote you
you're
back.
influencing me. So I'm influencing
scary.
you. You're influencing me.
Scary, bro.
Okay?
It's either real good or real bad for the new 97 on the fan, the voice of LA Sports. Do you want to, man, by the way, people in the chat, yes, of course you can criticize Shohei, and I know BL Boyd's like, bro, there were runners on earlier in the game, and he didn't drive him in. Like the 3rd or the 4th inning, I mean, come on. Like, that's not the 9th inning.
He's not above criticism. Yeah, it wasn't his best.
He's certainly worth being criticized.
Yeah, it's baseball, right? I mean, you're not going to come through every single time, but more often than not this year, he has been one of the Dodgers' better hitters. But it's a philosophical thing.
He is one of the Dodgers' only 2 or 3 reliable hitters consistently this year at a level that is acceptable for a team that is expected to compete for and win the World Series, period. Like Max Muncy and I guess Freddie Freeman, but not power numbers for Freeman.
No, absolutely not.
At this point, guys are getting singles, I'm in, right? Like, you're getting on base, you're getting
You'll
on
take
base.
it, right? You'll take it.
Okay, it is the D-Mac and Reiter Hero of the Day nominees. They're often very Dodger-centric. I have a few different ones. Can I go first today because it involves you?
Okay.
The way this works is that we're going to nominate as many as we can think of. Then we'll narrow these down to 4. We'll put them over in a poll on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. I'm going to nominate FC Barcelona for ruining a friendship that you need to not have. Okay? One of your guys, I'm just going to read this exchange. I'm seeing that I'm not going to swear, even though I think I can say this swear word. This is to Doug, from one of his oldest and closest friends. And seeing that little B word thing that you did on the air was like terrorism on steroids. I don't ever want to see your face again. You disgust me. You broke me. And then you wrote, you mean the whole Barca thing? And he wrote, as a friend.
Can you believe that?
You don't want to be friends with that guy.
Oh,
He's a Real Madrid person?
He's blocked. Blocked!
Good.
Yeah. Text on green.
Give me his number, and I'll send him some messages with some words I can't say.
Take me back, Cody, please. Please.
His name's Cody?
Yeah.
No, he's out.
Yeah, no one Cody?
Cody's out. There's
Well,
one
no,
Cody,
I
there's one
flexed to
Cody
him.
we
No,
like.
I was being sarcastic to him. I was like,
He's
oh,
done.
you mean the one where
He's
the
out.
Los Angeles... Because, by the way, that
Yeah,
little
good.
thing we did on Monday, the FC Barcelona official Los Angeles fan
The
group.
Peña group?
How you say it?
I think Peña.
Peña.
I think.
Peña.
I'm not a social person. I don't
They
know. I'm not
approved
a-
of it, and they shared it. So, gotta love it. Okay.
All right.
I'll go Clayton Kershaw. I know we've been
a good one.
glazing him so much. We should get a job at Krispy Kreme Donuts, but I got to show him some love. He looks so good in the box, had the shirt and tie. After the 3rd inning, I think really just settled in with Joe Davis. I love the way he was breaking down pitching, the way he was breaking down hitting, and he just doesn't force anything. He looks so comfortable. Clayton, if you're watching this, I know you probably are. If you're listening to this,
Yes.
make this a thing. We need at least 30 Clayton Kershaw games this season because he was brilliant in the broadcast booth.
I'm going to rename him from Clayton Kershaw to
Clayton Loquacious.
hold on.
Law?
Clayton Curtain Call.
Oh!
It took me a second.
Wow.
It took me a second.
Seems like we got a
Clayton
regular
Call.
old devout Christian
Dude,
here.
he was no. No. But he was so we were here and I went to dinner with my daughter. I went back and watched it and like watched the game last night late and watched some of it this morning. He was funny, he was comfortable, he was excellent. This is going to be counterintuitive to what most people think about the story. I'm actually going to nominate for the Hero of the Day here on D-Mac and Reiter the younger Buss brothers, Joey and Jesse. I know the sort of popular trend, the sort of need, anyone who does the Padres a loser. These guys got kicked out of their family business. They got forcibly removed from being a Laker, and I'm happy for them. They took some of that money and they invested it in a baseball team in the Padres. Reportedly, they're 5% owners, a part of that group. And then, by the way, I mean this heroically, but they're almost certainly terrible at operations. And they're on the advisory board, and there's a world where they're going to try to influence things. So they could be heroic in that they're trying for a second start, and they're going to accidentally sabotage the Padres. Double bonus.
Yeah, I love that. I'm here for that. Yeah, that's winning. That's how you win LA for sure. Hey, you were talking to me about Luka Doncic, how good he's looked, and just how physically he looks like he's in the best shape ever. I'm going Luka Doncic, man. I just love every single thing I've seen from him from the end of the season through the summer, the actions of taking his team to Slovenia with a team bonding event. That shows that he's saying, hey, this is the Luka Doncic era, man. LeBron's gone. This is me. This is my time. So there's that. There's him taking over and just looking great. So, Luka, my guy.
20 seconds. Doug, Sammy, Aaron, I know you know, Doug can't actually win because it's a rule, but I'm going to just give you an honorary nomination for battling through. I really hope it's food poisoning so I don't get it tomorrow. Whatever you've got, you're a freaking radio warrior. We are not done talking Dodgers. The angst with this team. What does it sound like when Dave Roberts watches his team lose the way that they did? We'll show you next. D-Mac and Reiter. All right, what's up? Welcome back into the show. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. By the way, my son Henry had his first day at a new school today.
First day of new school.
Yes, I gotta figure out how it went.
Congratulations,
Let's go,
Henry. Let's go, Henry. You did it.
Do it. Scale 1 to 10. Your level of concern of the Dodgers is what?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm going to go a solid 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, I'm worried about this offense.
That's relatively
I am
high.
This offense is going to ultimately make or break this team. The Dodgers are going to have to win ugly in the postseason. That's my big thing about this. That's what we know now.
And they can't. You walked us through this.
You can't.
They don't, the Brewers went ugly.
Exactly. And they're not a team that is really about, okay, pass the baton, let's get a rally, let's steal bases, let's try to generate some offense in different ways. And the way the Dodgers have had so much success throughout this run is they absolutely beat the brakes off of teams when they're right. Remember when they beat the Rockies last Monday and they won 11-5? That was the first time since July 19th that they had beat a team by 5 or more runs. And that was when they beat the Yankees 8-2. They're a team that's used to just knocking teams out. Close games, more pressure on the bullpen, more pressure on the offense to execute. So, yeah, we need to see this offense really step up and show that they can have success against. I mean, just put yourself in this position, right? If it's game 1 and you have Jacob Mizorowski and you have this Dodgers lineup, even if the Dodgers are throwing out Tarek Skubal, even if they're throwing out Blake Snell or Yamamoto, that's a game potentially.
So here's my thing, and then I know we're going to hear from some of Dave Roberts' frustrations and some of Mookie Betts. They're not. You're right. And yet Andrew Friedman, I think, has improperly built this team or look, he swung and missed on Kyle Tucker so far. The team's gotten older than we expected more quickly, and multiple players have underperformed in terms of slug and just general offensive excellence. They're going to need someone to be heroic that we sort of don't expect. And it's going to be every series. You're going to, and I mean offensively, you're going to need Kyle Tucker to basically be awesome in the series. And then you're going to need Mookie Betts to have a stretch like he did over those 13, 14 games where he was really, really good. And then you're going to need, and maybe it's Will Smith when he comes back, right? Because Will Smith had a game yesterday in Oklahoma City, AAA, hit a homer, threw a guy out, was a catcher for I think 5 of the innings. Maybe he has a NLCS, but it's not going to be a team effort. It's not going to be a balanced offensive attack because they don't do that. We just don't see it. And so maybe it's Ohtani who steps up. Certainly, the good news for the Dodgers is the pitching staff, and we've talked about this. And Tyler Glasnow was obviously back yesterday. And Dave Roberts, after the game, was asked a really good question. Did Glasnow, who, by the way, everybody gave up 3 earned runs in 5 innings, but struck out 7, did he look like the same pitcher that you saw before the injury?
I thought he was fantastic. That first inning, obviously, it went long. But I thought all night long he threw the ball fantastic. And the strikeouts, swing and miss, how we navigated that first inning to, not let it spiral, reset. And, he did everything he could to prevent runs tonight.
So here's the other thing, and this is going to sound kind of, I don't know if it's dumb or obnoxious. We've seen really great pitching staffs with really poor offenses win World Series. The Dodgers have an outstanding pitching staff if the bullpen can be right, and obviously you can move Roki and other guys into the bullpen. And if the offense can just be can be basic, there is a world where they can be successful. But I just think the margins are not what we want them to be.
They are, because the postseason, Bill, it turns 250 hitters into 210 hitters, right? It turns 210 hitters to 175 hitters, right?
Wait, it turns Kyle Tucker into a 0 hitter?
That was such a shot, dude.
I'm just following your logic. I was doing the math. I was bringing it.
The Kyle
Dodger
Tucker line.
Stadium.
000.
I do not want him to run into any more walls. That's good. That's funny.
No, hey, look, and that's the thing, that you're not facing 500 pitchers, right? You are facing everybody's best. So the reason why it kind of feels like I'm a little animated on the soapbox about this is I do think that the Dodgers have an opportunity to really look themselves in the mirror and say, hey, teams evolve. Dynasties end. And dynasties usually end when teams don't evolve. And I think the Dodgers have to look at themselves a little differently, knowing that, hey, they don't need to score 10 runs a night to win. They need to score 4 or 5 runs a night to win. And sometimes it's easier to score 4 or 5 runs when you're not trying to hit a 50 50-run home run trying to hit it to Pasadena every single at bat. So I think that is something that really from the hitting coaches and Robert Van Scoyoc, the hitting coach, is taking a lot of heat over the last couple of seasons with their approach. If they lose, think about this. If they lost, they would go down as the most talented roster in possibly the history of sports to not win a championship. That's what's at stake.
If they did hit it to Pasadena, they would have a chance, though, to graze D-Mac's boyhood home or Brock's current home, right?
Yo.
So there's a little...
The Dirty Dina. Shout out to 626, the 91030.
By the way, I did not spend enough time in Pasadena.
It's hot.
We almost lived... That's not true. It was one of the two places that people recommended we move to 15 years ago when we moved to L.A.
It is so... Like we
That's
went
why
there.
we moved there.
We went there like a month ago with Gene, and Gene's always like, it's so cute here. We should move here.
What's the garden
so hot.
thing I got to go to?
Huntington Museum.
My wife has been telling me to take her there for 15
Yeah.
years. I have not done it yet.
It's a great place.
I got
Good
my
place
two
to walk,
cats
sip some beers.
from Pasadena.
You did.
Does that mean I brought a little Pasadena in my home?
A little Catardina.
Oh,
No.
a little Meowadina.
Oh, hey.
Meow, meow. Okay, that was
Okay.
weird. D-Mac and right around the new 97.1
That could be a
The
drop.
Fan.
That could- that-
The voice
put
of
that
LA
with the
Sports.
Ewok.
Is that what you want?
Maybe.
Okay, so Glass now. Dave thought he looked great. That's cool. Rotation's amazing. That's cool. We've obviously talked a great deal about the fact that down 4-3 in the ninth inning, Ohtani had that leadoff triple, and Freddie struck out. Mookie grounded out weakly, meekly, in a way that Ohtani was sort of looked back to third, and Edman flew out, and the game was over. Just a brutal way to go down. And again, Dave Roberts talked about how that game ended.
Well, I think that obviously Shohei leads off with a triple, and with Reiter, you know that he's going to lean on that split change, and it's just infield in. You got to try to find something elevated to get the ball to the outfield.
Okay. You can hear his frustration.
Yeah.
Elevated. Just, I don't care how you do it. It doesn't matter if it's a Texas leaguer. It doesn't matter if it's a
Yeah.
bloop. It doesn't matter if a guy drops a easy pop fly in center field. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Dying quail.
Dying quail. How about a bunt?
A bunt.
How about a Dave Roberts
I
bunt?
like big bunts, and I cannot lie.
I like
that.
little
Yeah.
bunts, and I cannot. I'll
Hey.
take any bunts.
Well, we saw.
You are loose this week. We got
Hey.
showers. We got the defense. We got.
I listened to that yesterday. I couldn't believe I said that, to be honest. But
Yeah, and then you were like, I like it. It's my favorite thing because you'll be like, that came out so wrong. Wait, do it again. I want to hear it again.
shower today. It was like a Texas.
That came out so wrong.
You made me laugh in the shower today. It was like a Texas.
That came out so.
Why do I sound drunk too? I sound kind of sauced up.
You were drunk.
Oh, okay.
No, he wasn't. The boss says he wasn't drunk.
on the Celsius.
You right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
Look,
That
Dave,
was the Dodgers last night. Just
Dave,
joking.
one of the things I love about our job is if you listen to a clip, it can sound a certain way. If you watch it, it can be right. If you can see he just looked pissed, dude. Like Dave's pretty chill and pretty calm, and you know better than I do. You've covered this team so much. He just looked pissed off.
And I think too, Bill, is because the reason why I think he sounds pissed off, because I think, one, you're right, he is pissed off because usually he's trying to make sure that we're not overreacting, right? But he has already made it clear to the media for these last couple of weeks that he's already communicated to the team that he wants the playoff push, right? He wants the sprint.
That's right.
And you're not seeing the sprint. You still see them in a kind of marathon mode, or there's not taking these big time
Marathon mode. They're in go to sleep and lay in a coffin mode. They look dead when they're playing good teams.
Exactly. No, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. They have not been good enough against the better teams. I think
2-12 against winning baseball teams this month, including July 31st.
that's a bad stat. That's an embarrassing stat.
9-0. I'm with you. It's embarrassing, and I think the more the contextual, the context clue here, the really important way to frame this here on DMAC and Reiter. He's Doug McKean. I'm Bill Reiter. Thank you for listening on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Dude, people are missing how poor they are against real teams because they swept the Royals, the Rockies, and Pittsburgh. Those aren't good. I mean, you win the team. You have to win the games that are in front of you, but they're 9-0 against crap, and they are 2-12 against good teams. That makes them somewhere between a good team and crap.
There you go, right? It's like the Moneyball, right? There's 50 miles of crap, then there's us, right? But I think that it's pretty interesting because what if it was the other way around? What would we be saying? If they beat the crap out of really good teams and lost to bad teams, we might even be freaking out a little more.
New name in the chat. So I want and Just a Dude 2800. I'm Just a Dude too, and I appreciate you listening. So he's got a different perspective. 7-3 in the last 10. Almost 5 runs a game, and spare me their lack of competition BS. I think the question I have, Just a Dude 2800, and the DMAC is hitting, is more. It is not a test of a good baseball team. It's barely a test of a mediocre baseball team. in my opinion, to beat the Royals and beat the Rockies and beat Pittsburgh. The Dodgers are an elite baseball team. They are constructed as an elite baseball team. They are chasing, as my partner Doug McCain says all the time, a historic potential accomplishment in a third consecutive World Series. And so, yeah, if we were the Padres, if this were some middling baseball team, okay, fine. You've gotten your ass kicked by good teams and you've beaten the bad teams. That's what middling teams do. My worry, just to do 2800, and I think your worry, Doug, is that they aren't playing at the level of the Boston Red Sox, the Chicago Cubs, even the Diamondbacks, certainly not Milwaukee, and not yesterday. We'll see what happens the next day or two, Atlanta. And so we need to see what Dave Roberts has called for today and tomorrow, ramping up. You win the next two against Atlanta, it shows a kind of response. You don't. I don't know. It shows that you're not a very good team. Going back to June, dude. They're a 500 team since June.
Yeah, and also they've lost their best right-handed bat, right? Andy Pages is going to be out for 4 to 5 weeks. And without Andy Pages, you look at where the right-handed bat production comes from, Teo, Kike. I mean, you look at up and down the lineup, it should be Mookie Betts. It's really non-existent. So, yes, they are 7-3 in their last 10 games. Yes, this would be a lot more depressing, and there would be a lot more concerns had they lost to some of those bad teams. But still, I think that for this Dodgers team to do what hasn't been done by a National League team ever. Remember, no team in the National League, no team from the senior circuit, I know you hate that, by the way, no team in the senior circuit has ever three-peated.
Why the senior circuit?
That's just what they call it, because it's been around more than the American League.
It's dumb.
I like it.
I do?
Senior circuit.
It's not my thing.
Okay. Senior circuit.
I like it even less than Hump Day.
You're really anti-Hump Day, yeah?
I don't like Hump Day.
Hump Day is kind of weird, yeah.
Like Friday Junior I can actually get down with.
Yeah. Yeah, Hump Day is like, hey, you like Hump Day? I'm like, HR? Like, it's just kind of...
So now you're 4 for 4.
What?
Now you're 4 for 4 on
I'm flipping.
Where your mind is going.
Yeah. Okay,
Remember when I made you laugh in the shower yesterday? See how weird that sounds?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't sound right.
You made me laugh in the shower today. Like,
It's not ideal. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of the issues of this team, and Doug has walked us through better than anyone can, because I think, again, you're the best Dodgers person out there. Even if you betray me sometime with the Dodgers knowledge you sell me on, then criticize. I love that about you. I love the Dougie Okie Dokie is what we call it. Dave was asked about whether or not Dave Roberts, after that loss for the Dodgers and stranding Ohtani at third yesterday with nobody out after that opening triple, was asked, Dave Roberts, whether there's a problem with the Dodgers offense.
I don't know. I think that the last 6 games we've been really good as far as the at-bat quality. I think before that it was kind of trying to stir stuff up, and I thought we just weren't taking good collective at-bats. This is a situation at bat, infield in, and just having a clear plan to get the ball up in the hitting zone.
I don't know is not an encouraging answer, and I'm just going to say one more thing, even though I keep beating this dead horse, which is a great expression. That's kind of, when you think about it, beat a dead horse, kind of graphic. Yeah, the last 6 games where the at-bats were pretty strong, you were playing the Pirates and the Rockies, dude. And by the way, the Pirates are a bad team with a pretty good offense. You know what that means? It means their pitching's terrible.
Yeah.
And the Rockies' pitching is terrible.
And they should step up, right? You still have to face Chris Sale at some point this series, so you're going to face more really good starting pitching. And I think the big tell from yesterday's game is they had double-digit hits, but only turned it into 3 runs. And usually when this team is double-digit hits, they're basically a lock to get 5 runs. You're getting those crooked numbers every single inning, and you're just not getting that. So that is about as kind of dejected. Maybe he's tired, right? Maybe Dave's a little tired, right? But
he looked a little
dejected, sounded a little dejected.
Can I get
frustrated?
You've covered this Dodgers team day to day. I have not, but I've covered baseball day to day, and I've covered the NFL day to day, and I've spent a lot of time covering the NBA day to day. So can I do sort of armchair psychologist mixed with that experience? Can you tell me if I'm right? He has the look of the coaches I've covered who hit that spot, who are good. I can remember Spoelstra going through, where they don't know what to do. Now, they won't figure it out, but he looks like someone who's not sure what to do. And with guys like Dave Roberts, in my experience, that's what really gets them down, is when they're befuddled and they don't know how to unlock whatever's going on with their teams.
And that's what we talked about, right? Is he looks like he's here's the thing. It's kind of dawned on me right now. The same things that are impacting the team are impacting Dave Roberts, right? He's not out there swinging the bat. He's not out there taking pitches and playing the field or anything like that, but he's got to be tired too. I mean, this guy has been managing for years. He's been through all these battles. It's different when you're not a player, but it can wear on him too.
He looked a little older.
Yeah. Okay.
He looked a little worn out. I don't mean old and bad. I mean, I don't look like a spring chicken. No, you don't like that?
I know he looks fine.
A little over the line?
No,
you think it looks great?
Yeah.
I think he looks 25.
I was like, can we get Dave on the show first?
He just looked, he looked tired, man.
Yeah, he did. He did. And I do really think that this traces back to, remember we talked about this a couple weeks ago, Bill, when Dave was talking about Freddie Freeman in the approach, and then we played the Freddie sound, and Freddie was like, yeah, we can't swing the bats harder. And it almost felt like there was this disconnect, that there was this message from Dave to Freddie. It feels to me like Dave's saying, hey, we got to go back to Dodger baseball.
Disease of more, dude. This is a disease of more.
There you go.
So much success. You start to... a couple months ago, someone asked Mookie Betts a very reasonable question. And Mookie Betts was like, you wouldn't understand, so I won't tell you. And I thought it was obnoxious in the extreme. And memory tells me, I don't remember, that you put on a Mookie Betts defender's badge.
I did.
And I'm like, he's great. And okay, I don't know. I don't remember. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know? Mookie was one of the three hitters in the heart of that Dodgers lineup who did not get Ohtani from third base to home plate to tie the game in the top of the ninth. His was like a high chopper that the shortstop kind of ran in near the mound, got sort of fielded the ball, looked at Ohtani back, and then whipped it over to first. Wasn't a great moment. And I want to play you this exchange between Kirsten and Mookie, and what is obviously a reasonable question asked in a reasonable way.
Obviously, it's mid-August. When you look at this game, did it kind of feel like a potential playoff matchup that you might be seeing come October?
Sure. I mean, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out.
Sure. Dude, that is there's not like...
Can I use a Billism?
The sure and the okay and the corrects. Just like, sure.
Yeah. I'll use a Billism. Ready?
Okay.
You'd be like, Mookie sound put out.
That's what I said.
That's what Bill would say. He'd be like, Mookie sound put out there. And you're right. He did sound put out, and he did commit an out towards the end of the game that could have helped them win that one. And
that was good.
He is someone, Bill, that rides highs when he does have a level. He does kind of have this level even keel where I will say this. That by the way, every time I say I will say this, I think of DMAC bingo, by the way. So, but
oh my God, that was so much fun.
I will say this about Mookie Betts is had he got the game-winning or the game-tying hit yesterday and the Dodgers lost, like let's say he gets a base hit or he gets a sac fly, Shohei comes in to score, they tied at 4, but they lose at some point extra innings, you're probably getting the same version of Mookie Betts.
Really?
Yeah.
What if he singles Ohtani in and they win in 11?
He might crack his smile then. But even then,
he doesn't seem very nice.
What he would say,
I'm not gonna sit here and kiss his ass. He doesn't sound very nice. I haven't been around him, but I've been a reporter in those situations, and I find that, and maybe it's just like I've never been a waiter, but if you've been a waiter, you're particularly attuned to people being rude to the waiter.
Yep.
If you have a daughter, I do, who sells ice cream, you're particularly attuned to people like, my ice cream's not cold enough, right? Like I just. So my experiences being a reporter asking these questions, I find it obnoxious, and I find it particularly obnoxious given the fact, and he's been better the last couple of weeks, but he's not performed at the acceptable level. He's a veteran and a leader. Answering those questions is part of the job in any sport, but there's a code in baseball that you answer these questions as a professional, and especially, it shouldn't be that if I asked it and he treated me that way, people would be like, that guy doesn't show up to the clubhouse, it's fine. She's there every single game. I don't like it. I don't like what it says about his sort of state of mind right now.
And I definitely respect the observation because I think that's definitely how it comes off. I would only speak from my experience with Mookie Betts because last year, a lot of people were saying about me, Mookie's mad at DMAC because I asked Mookie if playing shortstop was having a negative impact on his bat, and he kind of looked at me, gave me a pretty dirty look, almost kind of spat a little sunflower seed in my direction, and I was like, this is pretty awkward. I was like, wow, this is pretty bad. Cameras go down. I asked Mookie Betts about his new batting glove company. He was all smiles again. I'm telling you, he's very different on experience. Camera. He's very different when the cameras go down. I would say Mookie, I would say, probably talks to reporters off camera in a friendly way just about as much as anyone.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's one more exchange with Mookie Betts that the cameras caught.
You look at how this game ended, when you have a runner on third, no outs, how challenging either are those at-bats, or what are you hoping and looking to do kind of in those situations?
I mean, it's tough, but, I mean, it is what it is. It's tough on everybody. Just trying to get a ball in the air and score him. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. He just needs to touch the plate, and I didn't do my job.
Do we have the other one, Aaron? The one with the gentleman out? That's what I was looking for. If we don't, it's fine. But I guess the listener would have to take my word for it. But there's an exchange where a guy asked, I thought, pretty reasonable question. And Mookie was I mean, again, like this. I know most Dodgers fans don't care, and maybe it doesn't impact performance. But in my experience, and maybe it doesn't apply here, guys like this who get surly are not surly with. Oh, here's the clip.
What do you think this playoff seeding and all this stuff is?
I mean, I don't know. We won through a wild card series. We won with the bye, so I don't think it really matters. I mean, if you want to make it matter, sure, but I mean, it doesn't matter when you play. You're gonna have to get timely hits and pitch. So there's no secret or magic formula to it. It's just about playing good ball.
I mean, come on, dude. You want to make it matter. He's saying, the reporter, you want to pretend that it matters when it doesn't. And there's no secret formula. You have to win 2 extra games if you don't get one of the top 2 buys. You don't want that.
No, you're absolutely right. And we've talked about this and how important that is considering the age and attrition. And, two, this is a better National League. Like, I don't think people are pointing out the fact
That's
that
a great call, dude.
Last year, Bill, who'd they play in that wild card round? The Cincinnati Reds. The Cincinnati Reds were never going to come to Los Angeles and take 2 out of 3 games at Dodger Stadium.
That's a great shout.
Padres could. They definitely could. Right? A team like that could.
You did a long pause to me.
Did I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I liked it.
But I will say this. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I actually think you're 100% right. The way he's presenting himself, the body language, how he sounds, the dude does not sound like a happy guy. The guy does not sound like a friendly guy. He doesn't sound like a guy that is really open to all this. It's not like he's out there giving a speech at his best friend's wedding, right? He's not out there being an MC at an event. But the frustration, he just doesn't hide it very well. And you can look at that a couple different ways, and that means that he wants it bad. But I think what happens here, Bill, is in those scrums, and we've seen them all year, when they lose like that, it's more of a projection to where it's, hey, I'm not the Mookie I used to be. Because it used to be when Mookie was an all-star and they lost, it's like, oh, it's cool, just a game, we'll get him next time, right? Now I think it kind of gets into a situation where a bad moment, he starts to get in his head and magnifies that he's not the player he used to be.
I think that's a really good insight. We're going to keep talking Dodgers, and we'll ask you, are you worried about this Dodgers team? Do you think their awful record against winning ball clubs over the last 3 weeks, 2-12, or this season below 500, is problematic? 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. We're talking Dodgers, and we've got some questions of the chat at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA on YouTube. We'll answer those as well. Dodgers talk next. More here on D-Mac and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. Doug McCain and Bill Reiter hanging out with you here, which makes this DMAC and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. So many ways to communicate with us. You can call us, 855-97-LA-FAN. You can get in the burgeoning, very cool community we have over on our YouTube page at the Fan LA, It's a little testy on these streets today. The folks are arguing with each other. And if you have Doug's number or my number, I guess, and you're driving around, you can just send us a random text about the show.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So what is this?
We got as big as it gets.
Okay, this is
as big as it gets.
Media member.
A media member.
Okay. Oh,
as big as it gets.
So a big
A1,
a big
A-lister,
A-lister, texting you,
Bill Reiter level. He said, "Good show. Been meaning to tell you this for a while. Nice injection of youthful energy in a radio market. Listen to you guys a lot when I'm shuffling my kids around at this hour."
Man, whoever that is,
appreciate you.
It's my guy.
Yeah,
I love that.
Keeping it 100, baby.
I know who it is.
Keeping it a buck.
I'm actually a huge fan. Even before the text. 855-97 LA fan. Do you think that if the Dodgers, fizzle out in the playoffs, they lose in a best of 3, they get the 2 seed in the National League, obviously they're going to win the division, and they sort of are hapless in a series, or even the NLCS, they're hapless. Do you think it's just the reality of baseball in a smaller sample size, Doug McCain, DMAC, my guy, or do you think it will should prod Friedman to rethink some major changes for a roster that's very veteran heavy and older?
So I think from a rotation standpoint, they've proven that formula works, where you get the very best starting pitchers and you get them in your rotation. The Dodgers legit have.
I don't mean the pitchers, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think there'll be any change from that standpoint.
Okay. Skubal, do you think that's a real target?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Because he's already made it clear that he wants to sign before the new CBA. I mean, how many teams can really afford a Tarek Skubal if he wants to be the highest paid pitcher?
Two. And one of them sucks.
And one of them's the Mets.
Yeah.
The last time I checked, the Mets would have to bring Arizona to New York if they wanted to sign Tarek Skubal.
I don't criticize organizations, but
Yeah.
I will say that the terrible, hapless, stupid organization rhymes with new forklets.
Right. Or is it called in the streets the LOL Mets? Because they have a laughable team. But yeah, I will say, no changes to the rotation. Right. I do think one of the big takeaways would be, and I don't want to put this out there because I still believe this team has a really good chance, as good of a chance as any.
I'm just saying if things
to go in the World Series.
Go badly.
Yeah, I think if things go badly, one, you will not see the Dodgers go out there and pay big for a reliever. I mean, you talk about the 2-hole being cursed, the closer spot's been cursed. Tanner Scott in 2025. Edwin Diaz in 2026.
I'm not sold on Tanner Scott.
Me neither.
I know everybody's like, 4-out save one time.
Yeah.
He is Mariano Rivera. I mean, I'm nervous, dude.
I think that is something that is not really discussed, that it does feel like, of course, he's markedly improved from last year when he led the entire sport with 10 blown saves. Yes, he has been better, but it only takes one bad appearance in the postseason to see an absolute catastrophic failure, to have the entire season derailed. I think you want to see a little bit more explosive stuff from Tanner Scott moving forward. I do think from an offense standpoint, what else do you really do? I mean, they're kind of landlocked from a roster.
The answer could be what people have called for the last few weeks. I mean, there is a bevy of talent in the minor league system in terms of bats.
Oh, yeah.
In the outfield.
What I would do...
You could start to bench some bench is the wrong term. You could transition some highly paid veterans, including some who are under contract till 2032.
Yeah. I see it. I see it. 6 years.
You could try to get a little more platoon action and get some younger sort of bats in there. And just because if a guy comes up and just blows up and is awesome, or is a spark of some slug, I don't know, maybe that's... Because it's not... the Dodgers aren't... insert whatever mediocre team you want. The Padres, they're not far from being dominant. And maybe they're so close to being dominant, they'll be dominant in 3 weeks, and I'll have to come on the radio and go, I guess I overreacted. My bad. I hope so.
Hey, we're in the overreaction business, right?
I hope so. Yeah. But is it 2-12 against winning teams in the last
month?
Also,
dude, there's a much higher probability that they will lose than they will win. I mean, just the odds say that, the projections say that, just how sports work in general. I think the ultimate Hey, this would tell me that the Dodgers are not in last dance mode with this current roster and that they still want to extend the window with Shohei Ohtani. And I think that the big position that they would circle in the offseason would be the shortstop spot. And I don't think it'd be good enough just to say that, okay, Mookie Betts, you're a good shortstop, but you're a bad hitter now. We can't just...
Wait. You said good shortstop.
Good short. Great, elite. Okay, what do you want to say?
No, I want you to say the truth.
He's a good
I want you to
shortstop.
apologize to the people for saying he was an elite shortstop 3 weeks ago.
He was an elite defensive shortstop.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, yeah, he's elite territory. Out above
Territory?
average defensive run save. He's good, but the problem I said a couple weeks ago is that...
You're in no condition for this. I apologize.
No, I am. Trust me.
No, you're not.
Mookie Betts has really started to turn into Miguel Rojas. And I mean that in a good and bad way.
He's
good,
not a good way.
in that he's a really good shortstop. Bad, in that he's hitting like classic, really good defensive shortstops in the past. So what I would do, Kyle Tucker, you're not moving off that contract. No one's taking on that contract. Andy Pages, he's your center fielder. No doubt about that.
Do you trust Pages to be able to reclaim some of the offensive firepower we saw the first 40, 50 games? Maybe not that level. I mean, he was one of the best hitters in baseball for a stretch, but is he good enough to be hitting your 2 spot or in your some of the top 5 of your lineup and be what the Dodgers require in those spots?
He is because he's dynamic. He is because he is a very good defensive center fielder that is streaky. I don't think that the first couple months of the season, that version of Andy Pages is who he is, but I still think he is an above-average bat, a guy that can hit anywhere from 25 to 30 home runs. He's explosive, and if he wasn't a great defender, it'd be a different story. If he wasn't a great defender, he's Teoscar Hernandez, right? And I think with Andy Pages, the fact that he's young, he's great at center field, that outside of catcher and shortstop is the most important defensive position, the third on the diamond.
You're right. I like, by the way, in the chat, they're calling your performance right now your Immortal Flu Game broadcast version. Yes, you're right. Shortstop, center field. I would just like one of those 2 positions of the Dodgers to actually be really impactful offensively.
Yeah, and that's what you need. So
one of them.
What I would do is, look, you got left field open. They like Josue DePaula. You have Mike Sirota. You have James Tibbs. I think that you call the Royals, ask about Bobby Witt Jr. You call the Reds, you ask about Ellie De La Cruz. You call the Nationals, you ask about C.J. Abrams.
Bobby Witt Jr. is my favorite Dodger the minute he gets traded other than Roki Sasaki.
Is he? He elevates?
Ohtani.
He's a dog.
I love Bobby. I love his game.
Give me.
I love his game, dude.
I need a star shortstop like I need oxygen. Like, I need that. My number one is Ellie De La Cruz. He has 3 arbitration years left.
That's who you want?
That's my guy. L.A. De La Cruz.
Here is a thought I just had that's going to take the oxygen out of your lungs.
It's not
maybe
left.
it won't. I'll look. No, there's not. You're Jordan in this thing.
That means that means you have to hold me in your arms like you're Scottie Pippen.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to do that. Team McIntyre, New 97 on the Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Mookie Betts is Ozzie Smith right now, dude. Isn't that hurt?
It ain't doing flips.
I'm going to look it up later. I'm just going to look up like an Ozzie Smith year and just see how it compares to Mookie's numbers right now.
The Wizard of Oz, man.
No, he's flipping out on reporters, though.
Whoa!
For asking questions like, how was the game today? Well, if you want to...
I love it.
I don't like.
Dude, you're sitting there acting like Mookie's out there going like Ryan Leaf on these reporters, like, don't talk to me. Like he's going out there like kicking these dudes. He just got a bad tone.
He's being rude.
You like the Ryan Leaf shout out?
I'm just saying, if you have to even compare him to Ryan Leaf by way of defending, if you have to bring
don't talk to me.
If you have to bring up Ryan Leaf in order to defend Mookie Betts, it's hard to defend Mookie Betts.
All right, that's your checkmate then, I guess. But that's really exciting to do, to look at that Ozzie Smith and Mookie Betts comp, because there was a guy. He's on that hit radio station. It was Bill Reiter.
Oh, wow.
Who was saying, you were Mr. Mookie's turn the corner. You were giving him all the credit in the world.
I didn't say that.
Oh, you were loving the offense last couple weeks.
Yeah. What I said was maybe he's
might be my
turn
to pull up some sound.
Yeah, please do. Dear listener, have you noticed that when we have these conversations and we go, I'm going to pull up the sound. I pull up the sound, and when Doug says, I'm going to pull up the sound, we get crickets?
That's pretty fair, honestly. Yeah. I got to dive into more.
Oh!
No, you just cricketed me?
You got cricketed.
Bro, Dodgers offense in the ninth inning.
I'm not good at everything, or many things perhaps, but I have pretty good recall.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. It pisses my wife off. Are you choking?
But
Are you choking on my recall?
Dodgers offense of the night, but no, but you are, but you.
Jordan game.
So yeah, let's see. You wanna do it on the fly?
On a little
Odyssey Smith.
I want to come back with it.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying?
You can hit it too. You're Mr. Fangraph, so might leave this to you.
You're
bro.
mad that I was on Fangraphs.
Would I be mad?
I could tell.
You're mad that I'm a
Like,
Barca
you're
fan.
like, that's my
You're
lane.
mad that I'm a Barca fan.
No. All right, so I actually thought about this in the shower, weirdly. I thought about it in the shower. It's not the same thing as you were in the shower.
No.
Yeah.
No, you said you thought about me in a Barcelona jersey in the shower. No, that's what you said.
That's not what I said, but that's weird. Here is my... I was able to unpack emotionally my hesitation about your Barcelona fandom, and the only reason I had hesitation is because you were so kind to bring me the best Barca kit I've ever seen. I love the one you brought, the Kobe purple and black. It's amazing. You're a great guy. I appreciate you. You're the absolute best. I am very serious about my love for Barcelona. I'm very, very intense about it. If you say you're a Barca fan, then you sort of like 3 months, a year later, basically, dude, you just got married. You just joined the priesthood. You just walked into an army recruitment checkpoint and put your name down. You're in now, and so I'm not. You better be in.
Oh yeah, there's no turning back.
I'm just telling you.
First of all, financially, I can't turn back because I bought 3 authentic jerseys,
they're so expensive.
I still haven't. Yeah,
I have to like buy you dinner or something.
There's something that happens when you go to that town. It's almost like every street you go is like Barca.
Oh no, it's
Visca Barca.
it got in my heart, dude.
Yeah, you're like
It's a
something
real
about
thing.
it. And going to Camp Nou. You call it Camp Nou or Camp No?
So I call it Camp No, but it goes either way, and I need to lock in on one is a Spanish pronunciation, one is the Catalan pronunciation. I need to do the Catalan pronunciation.
That's my goal. In 1
Catalan.
month, I want to be able to do the song, but in that language.
That is when I call Lori. That is the song that plays.
Is it?
Yeah,
Wife of the century.
yeah, she's doing great.
Yeah.
Is Mookie Betts doing as great as Ozzie Smith? We will let you know next here on D-Mac and Reiter.
Yeah, or like Cody's not here. Cody's in a hurricane.
Check us out at
This is his family, right?
Yeah, he's going
If you
through
need
it.
a world-class
Okay,
website,
What, Derek?
AmericanEagle.com.
Yeah, I heard
Go
that.
AmericanEagle.com
Back in Reiter, the flu game. Doug has. God, I hope it's food poisoning so I don't get it.
Guys, don't we need to recreate the Scottie Pippen Jordan thing?
Yes.
Bill doesn't want to do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
Guys, let Bill know.
I don't
He's
think
got
so.
to do it.
I'm not doing it. I'll do
38, Utah. No, I don't want you to be sick on your trip.
D-Mac and Reiter, sick and healthy, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. You're a beast, though, dude. The fact you're here doing the radio show, like, I respect the hell out of it.
If I can breathe, I do radio. I can't. There's a thing of a rhyme there.
Do you know?
But-
Do you know who my favorite radio host is of all time? Have I told you?
Crazy.
Now even more so.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
let's go. Who's your real favorite? Come on.
Jim Rome.
Yo,
Yeah,
and you
that's-
subbed in for him, dog.
I did.
That's next
I
level
did.
stuff.
That's been cool. That was a cool. And he's also a really good guy.
Yeah, you
Like,
said that.
Quadruple bonus.
Yeah, I love that.
But
Yeah.
now there's somebody coming for number, Doug McCain.
I told you about my nightmare, remember? About next week. That
Oh, yeah.
You were going to be Jim Rome, and then it was going to be 2:10, and then I was going to be late for the
Yes.
first segment.
Yep.
And then I was going to be like, they were going to ask me where Bill's at, and I was going to be like, Bill's on vacation because Bill gets a lot of vacation.
It's a good Rome.
And then Rome was going to like look at me like he wanted to punch me for the impression, and I
Right.
woke up.
Okay, I lost my train of thought. I had a joke I was going to come at you or something.
Come at me.
Oh, I forgot it.
That's my biggest pet peeve.
I actually forgot it. I don't
on,
remember.
dude.
I would have done it.
You know what, dude?
Coming at you.
I got to find a way
I'm
to
coming
execute
at you
those to you.
Like I used to be able to do here. Hey! I'm coming at you like a... Hey!
Hey!
Tornado of teeth and nails. If you're a hot dog and you're a star, it's a simple question, Norm. All right. SNL.
Great.
You're not going to make it, right?
Yeah, I am, baby.
I'm going to miss you.
Only 10 hours left.
All right. Do you want a little Ozzie Smith? You want a little Ozzie
Yes,
Smith?
I do want to see this.
And Doug properly framed this bad boy. We are gonna do same ages. So when Ozzie was 33 versus Mookie Betts now. Okay. Ozzie Smith was hitting 270. Mookie's hitting 236. Ozzie had 3 home runs to Mookie's 16. But the OPS numbers are 686 for Ozzie, 696 for Mookie.
Whoa.
Basically the same OPS numbers. Ozzie Smith had driven in 57. Now remember, there's more of a season to go, so there's time. Mookie's at 46. Ozzie scored 80 runs that year. Mookie's at 50.
Dude,
Ozzie was better.
that's...
And Ozzie was a better defensive player.
So
obviously.
offensively, as far as just bat to... So would you say the home runs was? Like 3?
Home runs was 3, and yet the OPS is the same.
Yeah. I mean, that just shows
it's 10 points off.
And here's the thing. Like, the Dodgers would benefit more from that version of a player than a guy that's chasing slug, right?
I don't know if Aaron has access to the cheers because Bursch hides all those things, but if he does, I want a cheers sound. Yay! And if not, I'll just cheer for myself. You know?
That was a good one, baby.
Yeah, I pulled it.
Yeah, that was a good pull.
I felt pretty. I
Good
felt
pull.
I
A
felt
little
pretty good.
more offense from Mookie, but you're right. Those offensive stats, as far as how much they actually contribute, and personally, just seeing those highlights from Ozzie Smith, I know those advanced defensive metrics aren't readily available, but you'd have to probably admit that just defense as a shortstop, he was superior to Mookie Betts.
293 on base percentage for Mookie this year. 350 for Ozzie.
And the crazy thing, it's not because of swing and miss. It's not the K rate. He's just weak contact.
Let me
flyouts.
You brought something up when we first started working together that I wasn't aware of. I haven't really paid attention to that you pointed out that Mookie Betts historically had a sort of slower bat speed. Jeez, get there, Reiter. A slower bat speed than most players at his level, and it wasn't a sort of an impediment to excellence. Does that, though, make him more vulnerable to a sudden decline? Does that create a scenario where when he loses a certain percent, his swing rate basically hits a tipping point quicker than it otherwise would for other guys? Does that make sense?
It does. His swing is...
I thought about that over the last few months.
Certainly. I mean, I think that you look like Mookie Betts in the box, and you're not 6'4", you're 5'9", and you're probably 220 pounds soaking wet at best, right? Probably 200 pounds soaking wet
is so funny.
Right? And if you're Mookie Betts, a lot of his hitting and his approach is based on his top hand, right? And how much that top hand is utilized, top of the zone, really generating great force and that downward motion into the ground. And for him, you're not just seeing the backspin on the fly ball. So really what you're seeing is the fly balls now are balls that usually just scrape the wall, and he would get home runs that way. So that's kind of what Mookie was able to do when he was really good throughout his career. So that's the frustrating thing about Mookie Betts is he has contact and discipline, but his overall quality of contact just doesn't consistently resemble that peak Mookie Betts. And that's the frustrating thing about it is he needs to be a line drive hitter. Like what Kershaw said yesterday about Kyle Tucker, where Kersh was pointing out that Kyle Tucker, he needs to be going dead center. He needs to be going oppo. He's trying to pull too many baseballs. Mookie Betts needs to be thinking gap to gap, line drive approach, stop chasing home runs, stop having the old Mookie Betts swing that could get you 30 to 40 home runs at its best. He's got to evolve. Like, he has to evolve.
Can he?
Can
he successfully do what you're describing?
I think he can, but I think it has to happen at the beginning of a season after an off season of maybe changing some habits. I think that he thinks that it's still in there.
That's a Dave Roberts conversation, I think.
Dave Roberts,
right?
The organization. I mean, I've asked Andrew Friedman a couple times about Mookie Betts, whether it be the offense, the shortstop play, and he said, hey, if there's one guy I'm not going to bet on for this team, it's Mookie Betts. So clearly the organization still has confidence that he can produce at an all-star level, but it just hasn't happened. And now we're going on 2 years where Mookie, with that massive contract that, yes, has already technically paid for itself, but that doesn't mean that you're just going to force him out there for the next 6 years. So one of the top 5 things the Dodgers really have to do in the next couple years is find a way to make Mookie Betts productive, right? They don't want him to become Albert Pujols with the Angels, right? He can't be that.
So I'm distracted. I don't know what I did, but Easy said that I'm a sociopath and emotionless.
We know that.
What do you mean we know that?
We know that.
I'm a sociopath?
I mean, in a positive way.
Emotionless?
He means that in a lovable way.
I'm a crier, dude.
Yeah, that's true. You are. Yeah, you were getting a little
I got emotional yesterday
when we had the jersey swap.
We did. I did.
Yeah, yeah. Do you cry during movies?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I cry on airplanes.
Do you? What
I
gets
can
me?
watch a Tide commercial on an airplane. I'll start crying.
Yeah, for me it's reels. You know,
it's a very strange thing.
Yeah, for me it's watching the Dodgers and their offense. That really
that makes you emotional.
Makes me emotional. I'm just like, please score some runs.
I love everything about it. For some reason, we our communication document is not working because.
It's not.
Aaron's putting stuff in there, but it's not showing up.
Communication.
The internet. I don't know. It's like there's a secret
the
message.
Interwebs.
Yeah.
First pitch coming up pretty soon.
Oh, here we go. Breaking. We always got some breaking news. You ready?
Yes.
Maybe we'll hit this next segment. Jonathan Kuminga. I found out what's going on. It's not updating. Is going to the Timberwolves. Is this according to Shams? I just want to make sure it's not a. Yeah. So we have a report that's coming together. Let me just go and check out Shams. Yep. So Kuminga.
That's his team.
He's going.
Look at Andrew.
Kuminga chose he doesn't. Our boss Andrew is a Timberwolves fan. This isn't a win for him, by the way.
He feels like
I think Kuminga's a problem, dude. I'm on the record for this.
It's activity.
Kuminga chose the Timberwolves over offers from the Lakers, Bulls, and Trailblazers, bypassing a similar starting role and $12 million plus annually over 3 years in LA to land in Minnesota for a shorter-term deal and an ability to have more control of his future, sources said. So this was the big conversation that was sort of out there about Kuminga. Would he decide to take less money? And I would argue, maybe the Timberwolves aren't a lesser place. It's a similar sort of projected potential team this year to the Lakers in order to go play well and try to He's betting on himself. I respect people that bet on themselves. I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, but like you point out, I mean, he does believe he's someone that should earn more money. He feels like with the right opportunity. He's still young, 23, I believe, last time I checked.
He is young, and he's talented.
And he's got upside. He's got athleticism. He's really the quintessential player that a lot of teams look for. Guys that have the ability to be above average defensive, perimeter stopping type of defenders, and guys that are athletic. So, yeah, I mean, that Minnesota
Good job,
team.
Aaron, by the way.
Here's
Good
the thing.
job
We talk
flagging
about
that.
this too. I mean,
Yeah.
not every team's gonna win. Minnesota's instantly interesting.
So we're gonna keep this going. In a couple minutes, we have to go somewhere else. When we come back, here's my sort of knee-jerk concern. Kuminga didn't work in Golden State, and he didn't work in Atlanta because he wanted the ball in his hands. He wanted to score 25 points a game. He wanted to show that he's a top-tier scorer. He thought he should be paid like somebody that can score 22, 24 points a game. LaMelo Ball wants the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards wants the ball in his hands. Those guys are going to get theirs well before Kuminga. So one of two things happen here. Either Kuminga goes to Minnesota, for lack of a better term, is a diva, doesn't have the same vision of himself that the rest of the guys have and the team has. It doesn't go well. He's a problem, and it's another team that doesn't want him there, and he doesn't get paid. Or I guess he goes and he takes a sort of a backup role. He doesn't have to be the main guy. He shows he can play defense. They don't bring the ball to him. He has the game. Like the game doesn't come to him. He has to go to the game. He operates within the system, and he's really effective. I'm just very skeptical to be the second one.
Yeah, the way you laid out like that, if you had to put money on which direction it would go, would it be toxic? Would it fizzle out? You'd probably go that direction. I do give Minnesota credit. I mean, I think that when you get into the LaMelo Ball business, you're already there. You're already at that point where you're saying, okay, we are gambling on guys that aren't your traditional stars, aren't guys that have a history of winning in this league.
I do like his game.
Yeah. LaMelo's? Yeah.
I'm not sure it translates to winning basketball games in 2026.
I like Anthony. I like Ant's defense paired with him, and then it kind of covers up some of his deficiencies.
Ant can be so good. I guess like, if it goes well, it's all right. So here's what
That's
we'll
one of my
do.
dream Lakers. Ant.
What's that?
That's one of my dream Lakers. Anthony Edwards.
I mean, would you rather have him or Jokic at an older age? I'd rather have Jokic.
Give me Ant.
Are you serious?
I just love guys that I can grow with and kind of win their first championship with and kind of get the best years out of him.
He'd be great in this city. All right, we've got 30 seconds, but we're going to keep talking about Kuminga. If you just missed this, breaking news, Jonathan Kuminga has said no to your Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers fans, do you wish he had been a Laker, or like me, are you glad he's not going to be a part of that roster? 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. We will preview the Dodgers game 2 against the Braves, but first, we're going to get into this breaking news, what it means for the Lakers. Kuminga going to Minnesota next year, D-Mac and Reiter.
Segment. Not the last one, but the one before this last one.
It's my everybody only has advanced hair restoration, different share flows and details. Once a year, summer savings event. So first off, advanced hair stands by their results and their advanced hair, advanced hair, natural hair is guaranteed to grow. talk about position. Modern technology, they create a concierge quality experience hard to find out elsewhere. Finally, advanced hair treatment begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. Simple, easy, and with a flexible schedule this summer, you've been waiting for a special savings opportunity. That's the advanced hair's summer savings event version of post-hair. It is their best offer ever. For details and a free consultation,
'em/hire now and sponsor your job today.
They have the sources. They have the pulse. And they're the only ones keeping it low. D-Mac and Reiter.
Something about the Lakers not getting something good.
Welcome back into the show. I'm Bill Reiter, and I'm working with not just the number one Dodgers expert in the world, but one of the toughest co-hosts I've ever seen, because this dude is suffering, and he is pushing through. He is committed to L.A.
Got news, too, though. I'm
in
excited.
a way that Jonathan Kuminga's not.
Whoa.
D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of L.A. sports. Accident or injury, text injury up to 40222. Here's the deal. Jonathan Kuminga has made the decision not to be a Los Angeles Laker. He reportedly took less money to go to Minnesota and bet on himself. That's fine. I am so glad he's not a Laker. I think I'm on an island here. I know they need a wing. I know he's talented. I know he has upside. I know he came at a reasonable discount. This is a guy who couldn't make it work in Golden State. He couldn't make it work in Atlanta. Vastly different organizations, vastly different needs, vastly different approaches, vastly different stages, and a super talented young guy was basically shown the exit door because there's something wrong with him. He's a walking red flag. He wants to go to Minnesota, rehabilitate his image, prove that he's worthy of a major deal, take a back seat. He'll have to Anton LaMelo. That's cool. I just don't need that risk or that worry with the Lakers. I like what they're building. I know that there's a huge upside there. Risk-reward ratio for me, D-Mac, hell no. Glad he's not a Laker. I think it makes more sense to have him somewhere else. To me, it's good news for the Lakers, even though it feels like it's bad news.
Yeah, I think for someone like myself that was just really excited about the possibility of taking risks on this roster, you already made moves for Walker Kessler, and you're adding pieces around Luka Doncic, that it was intriguing. I think that possibly the idea of Kuminga was better than the reality of Kuminga. But, I mean, look at the contract. I believe $6.5 million per year, 2 years, something in that range.
That's like making $19 an hour
in
a real job.
Little minimum wage.
Yeah, little wage action.
It's a little bet on yourself type contract, right? I think that if you are the Wolves, of course, that's a no-brainer for you. Will it work out? There's definitely strong personalities on that team. But look, at an age where athleticism plays up, in an age where just having the ability to sign guys with upside is something you should consider. That's why Kuminga, I want him in the Lakers. I want him in purple and gold. But it's not something I'm going to cry over, right? It's not I'm going to go out there and just say this is the worst day ever. It's not like I'm absolutely disappointed right here, but I just thought it could have been a fun project, but not at $30 million.
And by the way, I could be totally wrong, and this could be a boon for Minnesota. And the thing is, his decision, it's not just an impact on the Lakers in terms of he's not there. It's an impact on the Lakers in terms of he's gone to a team that is much more a rival of LA than Oklahoma City or the Spurs are likely to be. The likelihood, right, I think we all agree, it's Oklahoma City, and for me it's San Antonio and Oklahoma City in that order of the top of the West, but there is a battle to be the third or the fourth seed to show that you're building something. And it's as important to LA as it is to Minnesota to sort of be that third team because you're trying to prove to your respective top 5 players in the NBA, and you think Ant is that too, don't you? And we know Luka is, that you're in the right place, you're in the right spot for the future. And so if Kuminga's a problem or not great, good news for LA because this is one of their competitors for that third spot. If Kuminga's really, really good and he's just balling out and he's hell-bent on showing the league what what he can do and why he should get paid, it's not great for LA because they do not need or want the Timberwolves to be effective at whatever they do.
Yeah, and that's the tough spot for Jonathan Kuminga. If he doesn't feel like he's getting the opportunity that he hopes for, maybe he does have that locker room in shambles, and you're going to have to find the leader there. I think that's the big thing, too, for this team, is who's the leader in Minnesota, who's going to have them all buying in and going in the same direction. But still, I mean, is there a team out there at that price that probably would at least take a flyer on this?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think at that price, the Timberwolves are the best bet for Kuminga because the part of the way I think you get paid here if you're Jonathan Kuminga, and part of the reason I think it made sense to the Lakers if they were willing to sort of give him this opportunity is you want to go to a place where you're going to get as many touches and as much opportunity to sort of pack the box score, but play on a playoff team. You play for a team that wins a playoff series, you score 23 points a game in a couple playoff games because you step up or somebody gets hurt. I think it makes a lot of sense. The other thing I think that's interesting here, and I don't know if he has, I'm going to give you a theory of why maybe Minnesota appealed to him more than the Lakers that I think is fairly smart, but I also don't know that his agents are smart enough to think of this because they're the ones that told him he was worth a bunch of money, presumably. You want to go to a place where you're the number 3 and you have a good attitude, but the number 1 or the number 2 is going to get hurt, and you have potential to sort of step in and be the secondary scorer. I really like LaMelo Ball's game. I think he's really fun to watch. He never stays healthy. And so if you're Kuminga, maybe your agents were smart enough, or maybe Kuminga was smart enough to go, we'll go there, we'll sort of do the right thing, but also if LaMelo gets injured like he always does, they're going to need some scoring from somebody else, and so they'll turn from their point guard to their 3.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly said because that seems like the thought process there for him. And if you're wondering, would he buy into Luka's system and this version of the Lakers, that is kind of our answer now, right? I mean, we've seen guys bet on the Lakers, Austin and Kessler and Grimes and Mamu and Sexton. Those players chose to play alongside Luka. They chose the bright lights. And for me, I would expect if he didn't want to go there, he probably would want to go to a place where maybe get some inflated stats and get a better deal at some point. But
gotta live in Minnesota too.
Yeah, Minnesota is very cold.
Have you been there? I've been there in the winter covering the league, and it is brutal. Here's the other thing, and again, this is, I don't know, we got to come up with a term for this, like the fallacy of sunken costs or whatever it's called?
Yep.
We got to come up with a version of that for radio takes and sports takes, or the fallacy of wanting your take to be right so much that you continue to sort of say dumber and dumber things. I've been guilty of that once in my life.
Oh, yeah.
One time.
One time was
here, I don't know. I was making I probably took 20. D-Mac and Reiter, the new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Breaking news, if you're just joining us, Jonathan Kuminga has rejected the Lakers, reportedly from Shams, at a higher price point to take less for fewer years and go be a member of the Timberwolves. Here's the other thing. Kuminga, for his own reasons. Kuminga thought he was worth $20, $25, $30 million a year. He is worth not quite $7 million per year in this deal. Reported the Lakers offered more. But he wants to go to a place, he wants to go for a short amount of time, presumably a year. This is breaking news. Do a great job, opt out, whatever it is, and go get paid. So here's my maybe fallacy of sunken takes, right? Maybe it's my sunken takes fallacy here. Part of what I like about the Lakers, the Lakers are a double-edged sword here. I think they can be really good, they could be really bad. They are trying to build something that is lasting. if the Lakers' idea of Walker Kessler and paying Austin Reeves and Colin Sexton and Mamu and hopefully Cam Carr is really good, the young dude out of Baylor, if all of those pieces work and fit with Luka Doncic, they're probably, I think, not going to win an NBA championship next season. We're not going to be talking about Lakers reigning champions. It's more going to be a New York Knicks model where it's going to take a couple years. You're going to sort of fine-tune here or there. Maybe you make some trades, but you're building toward it. I think you want guys who want to be there for 2 or 3 or 4 years, who want to be a part of the vision. I'm not sure bringing in, I use this word all the time now, and I can't say it the same way without laughing. I don't think you want to bring in a one-year mercenary. I don't need Jonathan Kuminga to come in for a year and prove he can be great because the Lakers don't need a mercenary now. They need a mercenary in 2 or 3 years, right? Jonathan Kuminga being the perfect version of Jonathan Kuminga, getting Jonathan Kuminga paid, that doesn't make the Lakers a championship team because they're not going to be a championship team the next 12 months. What I think they want to do is build a core that can grow together.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely what their process was, right? You saw a lot of those contracts, 4-year deals. You're basically getting this group to the point where there shouldn't be a lot of fluidity unless you think that Austin Reeves emerges and that he's a big swing guy to put another piece around Luka. I mean, I think the interesting thing to me is we heard for so long that he felt like the Lakers were lowballing him and that he wasn't going to get $20 million, and then he turns around and he signs for less than that. So I think from Kuminga's
What
camp,
a calm down, bro.
Exactly.
$20 million to 6.7.
Some good 40 chess right there for Jonathan Kuminga. And yeah, I mean, it's Minnesota. I think for himself, there are some stars on that team. They're an interesting team. They're an exciting team. They're a team that, if everything clicks, you won't want to play them in the playoffs. I give credit for making that move.
Not last year, but before that, back-to-back, if I have this right off the top of my head, it's D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, back-to-back Western Conference appearances, right? I mean, they beat Denver to get to one of those, I think, right? Like when the Denver are the reigning champs. There's certainly a ceiling there. This is the reporting from Shams. I'll just read you some of this here. We're talking breaking news. Jonathan Kuminga has chosen the Timberwolves, so obviously one of the primary potential targets for the Lakers to bring in as a wing. That's a spot that they need. He's very athletic. It's not an athletic team. Has rejected LA. Here's what Shams is telling us. In the last month, Shams puts on X, the Timberwolves persistently recruited Kuminga, offering their best financial tool in the taxpayer mid-level exception, plus a large on-court opportunity. Edwards was a major part of the full-court recruiting press to sign Kuminga, while President Tim Connolly traveled to Miami for a 4-hour in-person meeting with Kuminga earlier this month, along with productive conversations between the wing and coach Chris Finch. Shams had earlier reported about 20 minutes ago, Kuminga chose the Timberwolves offer over offers from the Lakers, Bulls, and Trailblazers, bypassing a similar starting role and $12 million plus annually over 3 years in LA to land in Minnesota for a shorter-term deal and the ability to have more control of his future, sources said. Shams has not said what the deal is yet. I mean, just pure guesswork. Maybe it's a 1+1 where he's got the player option. So if it goes well at $6 million, he can opt out and get paid. If it doesn't go well, he's got a second year to try to make it work. And let me say this: I'm not mad at Jonathan Kuminga. I respect people betting on themselves. I really do. I guess who's the wing now? Justin Vanderbilt. I guess that's the guy.
LaRavia in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, no, there's an athletic.
Where
there's a deficit of athleticism.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
And you're just gonna have to have other guys in other spots step up. And based on that offer, 3 years and $12 million, and he opted to take that 1+1. Like you said, we've seen the Lakers have players like this, right? Whether it be a Malik Monk, whether it be a Lonnie Walker, right? This has been a spot where if the opportunity presents itself, the Lakers make sense, especially when they had Anthony Davis and LeBron, because you basically could bake in a lot of missed games because of their lack of durability. This makes sense for Kuminga, man. The last thing he wants to do here is go to the Lakers, know that he can score 20 points per game, but have that frustration just kind of bleed to the rest of the team. And we know this is Luka's team, this is Austin Reeves' team. They are going to be doing the lion's share of the scoring, and Walker Kessler, he's going to definitely contribute as well, but it just felt like he's doing what's best for him, like most players do. It's a bet on himself deal.
I'm gonna go. Glass isn't just half full; it's half full of beautiful cold tap water from New York City. New York City does have the best water, by the way.
Yeah,
did you know that?
It does.
That's why the pizza's so good.
And the bagels.
Oh, my kid, my daughter really wants a bagel next week when we go. Okay, that was a terrible analogy. I apologize to everyone here on D-Mac and Reiter. Here is my very positive spin on this too. I'm really excited about the Lakers' first-round draft pick, Cam Carr. And some of that is because you and I had Scott Drew come on the show, who was his coach, head coach at Baylor, and really sell us in great detail. If you missed this, it's on the YouTube page at the Fan LA. It's on the podcast. We had a great interview with Scott Drew. This is back in June when the NBA draft happened, but he really walked us through Cam Carr's game and how he thinks he can fit in immediately with the Lakers. And I know, because I've covered it, that Summer League doesn't mean anything, but he still looks so good in Summer League. Cam Carr's an option for that wing.
Yeah.
Cam Carr's going to have a 2-3 athletic. I think, what is he, 6'5", 6'6"?
He got 7-foot wingspan.
Jumps out of the gym.
3-point shots. Great attitude.
Yeah. So, more opportunities for Cam Carr, maybe, especially if he can play up a little bit. I think he can play the 3 in the NBA.
Yeah.
Rather than Kuminga. And you can mold him and you can grow him with the habits that you want. It does not feel like the end of the world to me.
It's not, but I will be following that team very closely. And if he does fit in well, and if he looks athletic, and the Lakers, they go on a slide, and he looks like he would have made sense here, and they'll be in the back of my mind. But, yeah, give credit for this team not to be desperate. I mean, the Lakers, they could have easily said, okay, Luka, we're just going to throw money, and we're going to use that drunk sailors, or we're going to get Kuminga here just to see if it can work out. They didn't do that.
Why did sailors get disparaged?
The water. It's
like everybody, and what about
Jaws? Remember?
What about drunk?
Show me the way to go home.
What about drunk radio hosts? They don't throw the money around.
Not as much.
Are you gonna make it?
Yeah.
This is your flu game, dude. By the way, you're crushing the radio though.
Yo,
you're doing. I mean,
as long as I get my Pippen Jordan picture.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to touch you, man.
We'll see.
Our boss Andrew has convinced me you're gonna get me sick for my New York trip.
No,
bro.
Oh,
is that just the Jordan sound?
Yeah.
I don't want to carry you at all.
I love it.
You look all sweaty and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Dodgers underway, I believe, just underway with against the Braves. We spent a lot of time talking about the fact that they lost that game last night in brutal fashion. How important does it matter? Like it feels like obviously you want to beat the Braves today, you want to beat them tomorrow. It kind of feels like there are more systemic problems with the offense that need to be addressed, and I'm not sure you do that. You don't convince Mookie Betts to become what Freddie Freeman is, which is basically a contact hitter. You don't figure out how to have timely hitting. You don't even get Will Smith back over the course of one game against the Braves.
Oh, I think it absolutely matters. I'm not saying that it's more important than life and death, but I will say it's important than that, right? I think that the Dodgers find a way to take 2 out of 3 and give yourself some cushion. It can make a lot of difference between how they use these guys down the stretch. Let's say they get a 5-game lead. I think you'll see less Yamamoto. I think you'll start to see them give guys some necessary rest. Okay. So if they get swept this series, you're talking 30 games to go and anything can happen, and teams start to get motivated.
I'll freak out.
You'll lose your mind. If they lose tonight, you'll be the sky is falling, Bill Reiter.
I mean, the sky might be falling.
Yeah.
If they're I take it back. You're right. I'm wrong. This game does matter. This game is everything.
Yeah.
If they're 2-4, but they can't lose tonight. Do you know why? Isn't Roki going the mound? That's my guy.
That is your guy.
All right, they can lose. They've had great starting pitching just be ruined. Ohtani, I did not see what it was, made an initial out. Freddie Freeman also just got out, so it's 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Mookie Betts, with his batting average of .236 and his on-base percentage of .293, is up to the plate. Wow. But I'm not allowed to say that he's not playing well because Doug gets mad at me.
Not true.
Here's the starting lineup. You ready?
Yeah.
Ohtani, Freeman, Betts. Max Muncy is in cleanup. Tommy Edman, Kyle Tucker, Alek Thomas, Teoscar Hernandez, and Hunter Fiducia. Those are the 9 Dodgers who will attempt to score some damn runs.
So Shohei's still batting leadoff, I guess.
Shohei is batting
Freddie's
leadoff.
Flipped.
And Freddie's in the 2 spot.
It would make my day if I saw Freddie.
0 for 5 Freddie yesterday.
0 for 5 Freddie.
In the 2-hole.
It would absolutely make my day. It would give me life if we saw the lineup and Freddie was at leadoff. If they did that, I guarantee they're watching the show. They already are.
Bad.
We know they are. We know the Dodgers are watching the show. I've heard stuff.
That's the words on the street.
That's the word on the streets.
It's not the same thing, but a guy that me and a couple other dudes, friend of mine Henry and friend of mine Jeff, created a tennis competition, and we have to meet in order to sort of do it. I'm like, I'm not coming. I'm doing the show, and he said on the tennis streets. Ooh, a lot of good feedback.
Hey,
so the tennis dads of Manhattan Beach, and the Dodgers front office, more important.
I might even sacrifice the Dodgers World Series to beat you in tennis. Had videotape?
You can't beat me in tennis.
Okay.
I had this talk with somebody.
Okay.
Mookie Betts reached base, but I didn't see it because you were talking nonsense.
Oh, Mr. Ozzie Smith.
He is Ozzie Smith.
Yeah. I wonder how he got on.
Smith.
Is he at first? Maybe a single, maybe a
Who's at
lead
first?
What's on second?
Yeah, there you go.
Is he on first?
He is on first base.
Interesting.
I'm not.
Could be a walk, could be a base hit.
Could be anything. They could have just said, take
Could
it.
have
Feel
got
bad for
hit. Yeah, take the base, we feel bad.
I still have a ton of confidence in Max Muncy. All right, confidence-o-meter in sort of like important situations in the playoffs offensively. Max Muncy's topped. You do a bullpen trust tree? Have you ever done like a?
We could probably rock that.
Can I do a batter's trust
Dude, you should.
tree? And then you can come after me.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna put on the notes.
A little trust tree.
A little trust tree action.
Yeah.
All right.
Little.
You know where you're on the trust tree?
Little confidence cactus.
You're the roots.
Oh, dude,
You make it.
It's more like a trust.
Are
it's
you
more like
gonna make it to the final hour?
It's more like a trust
You
twig
can
right
go-
now.
You can
It's a
go-
trust twig.
I mean, I'm not the boss, Anders. The boss. I really don't have permission to do this, but my 2 cents is, you can go home, dude.
Never.
You're like melting.
Really?
I'm a little worried about you.
I'm doing great.
Not melting in a sense of like, I just mean like, I just worry that you're.
Oh no, I'm feeling fine.
Are you sure it's food poisoning?
At this point, I have some doubts.
Oh no, so you're gonna make.
I'll be okay tomorrow, guys. I'm a quick healer.
But I'm not.
You're not. But
I'm
you're
leaving
gonna be
for
fine.
New York
okay,
on Saturday.
So maybe I'll.
Dude, we're stuck. We're sealing a room together.
In Vegas, right?
A little dribbler to shortstop, innings over.
Oh,
dude, how good I am at the play-by-play.
Hey, really good.
Mookie's on base. I don't know how, but he's on there. I'm not sure what.
He's on there somehow.
I'm
We don't
not
know.
sure. I'm not sure what occurred. What would you rather have had happen? Mookie Betts came up and hit a home run right there, or Jonathan Kuminga was Laker? I'd rather have Mookie Betts hit
Give me
one home run.
Kuminga and the Lakers.
I don't
I'm
want him.
obsessed with player acquisitions and
I'm glad
signings
he's
and
going to the
trades and
Timberwolves.
whatever it may be.
Here's my
It could
thing
be a dodge bullet situation. I'll give you that.
By the way, I am me not wanting Kuminga to be a Laker at $6-7 million a year is the equivalent of in 4 years me not wanting Roki Sasaki to be a Dodger.
Ooh.
for the minimum.
Jeez.
I used to be a big Kuminga guy.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, twice burned.
So that explains a
3
lot.
times as cautious.
He's gonna.
I don't know the expression.
I think he's gonna find a new agent, and we'll see how he looks. But it's it's kind of like the AD thing, right? I'm just kind of glad it's over, one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, can we get AD to make up his freaking mind?
Really?
I'm actually
Please.
getting a little tired of it.
Jeez.
Although he's like a lot better than Jonathan Kuminga. Like I actually want AD on the Rams.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Well, how's your fantasy football? Is your draft? Is your turn yet?
I still have to make my next pick. I got
You got a little nudge from Raj.
Yeah.
Raj is
Look,
like
that's a good manager right there. It's a good fantasy
yeah.
manager. I gave my address, by the way. I said you can just send me the trophy. 17. Well, I won't say my address.
You almost
but,
did there. Well, you said where Keanu Reeves lives the other day.
Oh, that's right. I got Puka Nakua with the 4th pick. It's a 12-person league, I believe. And then I took McBride with my 2nd pick.
I have $1,000 bet that you won't win the league. I bet.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a 6-time champ.
I know.
I'm a 6-time
You have
champ.
139 different leagues. to play in.
40 something, but
Yeah. What's your percentage?
it's not that great.
Yeah.
But no, 6 times not easy. Also, I've been like a runner-up. I was like the Buffalo Bills for a long time in the 90s.
I am the.
I'm absolutely hardcore when it comes to fantasy.
I've only won one the last. I only do one a year though, but I've only won one the last 9-10 years, and I've been a runner-up for like 3 or 4. And fantasy baseball. I'm a runner-up almost every other year. I hate it. I actually hate fantasy sports because I'd rather just not make the playoffs than be runner-up.
Oh,
3 out of 4 times.
makes sense.
It's annoying.
Yeah. Hey, fantasy, it's gonna be electric.
I just saw a part of your soul leave your body.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
I'm taking the league, baby.
Glad to know it was in there though.
I know, right?
Apparently, I'm a sociopath.
I got a soul.
Why am I a sociopath, by the way?
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
It's just I'm trying to play into what the people in the crowd are saying.
I understand.
Yeah.
Clayton.
You're a socio. For Barcelona.
For Barcelona.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I thought I heard.
You're my best friend for everything. D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1, the fan, the voice of LA sports. We're gonna update you on this Dodgers game. We got a little sidetracked by the Jonathan Kuminga news. If you're just joining us, Kuminga has chosen to go to the Timberwolves for a shorter, as yet to be undisclosed amount of time. We'd figure a year or 1+1, and less money than he could have made from some other spots, including the Bulls, and yes, the Los Angeles Lakers. He has turned down the Lakers to be a Timberwolf. We will circle back to that in a little bit, and we'll get into the most impressive, at least, Dodger yesterday was somebody who wasn't even playing. That's next on D-Mac and Reiter.
You're going to see Herbert out there. Who's going to take the lead in the backup quarterback situation with the Rams? 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. 97.1 Fan LA. Summer in LA is expensive, but Shane Boston doesn't have to be. Right now, the storm on to Glendale during the morning review sales of that qualified buyers.
Like your mics are off.
36 months on the 2026 Mazda CX-5 or CX-50 Hybrid. Plus, make no sweat your old ride all summer. Hit Star Mazda Glendale. Take a test drive and drive home happy today. Disclaimer. For well-qualified buyers through Mazda Financial Services. Restrictions apply. See dealer for complete details. Offer ends August 31st, 2026.
John worked hard his whole life to support his family. Now he's battling cancer, drowning in medical bills, and falling into debt. Tony was also diagnosed, and he called me, attorney Ron Guzman, and I was able to prove his cancer was linked to the poor air quality at work. I got him settled over $100,000. If you or someone you love is facing cancer, be like Tony. Call me, attorney Ron Guzman, 310-999-9989, the injured worker hotline, 310-999-9989.
It's dirty Necker. I've seen enough muddy cleats and dirty clubhouses to know that grime belongs outside, not everything in Zero Res uses no dirt-attracting soaps or harsh chemicals, so your carpets are truly clean without the DIY disasters that can leave them soaked for days. Just ask my dog Frankie how much we love Zero Res. This month, get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $149. Call 949-503-9569 or visit ZeroResSoCal.com and mention the Death Fan Special. Telephone or AdWords, it's the same. Zero Res.
Summer may be winding down, but savings are heating up at Toyota of San Bernardino. Gear up for back-to-school carpools, busy commutes, and Labor Day adventures in a new Toyota car, truck, or SUV. Now get 2.98% APR financing for 72 months on select new 2026 Toyota Tundras. With a huge selection and financing options for all lines of credit, we'll help find the right Toyota for your lifestyle and budget. Labor Day savings are happening now, so why wait? Shop ToyotaSB.com or visit us just off the 215 freeway or call
999-999-9989. Doors open at 9 p.m. Get your tickets at morongo.com/aloha Aina Morongo. Aloha Aina Morongo Casino. Come celebrate this year.
Feeling the weight of IRS letters, levies, or illegal tax debt relief. Our expert team knows exactly what you're going through. The IRS stepping up collections. Now's the time to act. You're not a criminal. You just need a way out. By acting now, you can take advantage of special tax relief programs being made available. They reduce a large portion of your loan. If you're first, you don't need to be afraid of the IRS anymore. Even if you owe the IRS hundreds of thousands of dollars, you may qualify for significant tax relief. Get the peace of mind you deserve by calling Community Taxes Hotline now for your free consultation.
He's telling me that people can hear them during break on the stream. I don't get it though, because their mics are like, but I don't know. I'll talk to Andrew about that, but I'll like, dude, no, our board is fine. The only thing I can think is that they were in queue, so they can be heard in here, but it's only in here. It's not on air or on stream. And it could have bled through somewhere, but I don't know.
It's just 4 doses of your average.
Don't be allergic to
Saying that now. He said that was like
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866.
It is Wednesday. Thank you for hanging. Doug McCain, Bill Reiter with you. D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. I am to blame, I think, for the way this Dodgers game is going. I should not have said, which I did say, that the Dodgers could not lose because Roki was pitching. I just meant to express my profound love for him and that electric arm, as you know, Doug McCain. But things are not going particularly well. Roki here in the first. Are we still in the first inning?
Bottom of the first, 2 outs.
Hung, it looked like some kind of breaking ball, and Matt Olson hit it 430,000 million feet away. And then Max Muncy sort of gloved the ball at third base, wasn't able to make the throw. Freddie Freeman wasn't able to dig it out. I don't think it's an error. We're sort of doing this as we're on the radio here. And then runner stole second. So it's runner on second, 2 outs, 1-0 Atlanta. We'll see whether or not Roki Sasaki and his giant glove can get his way out of trouble. Look, man, I'll take Freddie over Matt Olson all day long. Freddie's been an absolute machine for the Dodgers. The Dodgers have 2 World Series to show for the team that Andrew Friedman and company have put together. One of the curses of being remarkable is you have to live up to your all-time, your sort of greatest hits. I think I told you that was something that a really good friend of mine, a guy named Ken Fusen, was a famous writer from Iowa, newspaper writer who passed away a few years ago, said you have to live up to your greatest hits. The Dodgers are legends for 2 consecutive World Series wins already. Having Freddie Freeman's a big part of that. They had Freddie Freeman in large part because Atlanta wanted Matt Olson, and we still sort of hold them to that standard of excellence and greatness because we want them to win another one. We expect it, but yeah, so far this sort of second game of the series, advantage early Braves.
Yeah, there's a lot of baseball to play. It feels like Roki's kind of regressing to some bad habits, gives up that home run to Olsen. If you look at the pitch, it was a slider down and in.
Is that what
a
it
little
was?
bit off the plate.
So hung a little bit, didn't he?
Hung it, maybe left it up just a bit, and that really is right in Olsen's nitro zone right there. But it was a solo shot. I mean, if you're Roki, he is top 5, bottom 5 when it comes to allowing home runs. So just keep the solo shots and try to get the rest of the outs. But unfortunately, he is allowing more base runners. He pitched to he reached on infield single, Dubon, so got runners on first and second, bottom of the first.
I'm a little surprised that the Braves don't, with Olsen, who has 37 homers now, go with the Dodgers philosophy and have him hit leadoff. Just a little joke there.
I see it.
Yeah. Tony.
Well, it's funny. It's a
by the way.
storyline you always follow anytime the Braves play the Dodgers because Olsen was the guy that the Braves chose over signing Freddie Freeman. They went with the younger guy.
He can mash, too.
He can. He absolutely is one of the best hitters in baseball. Not as clutch in the postseason as Freddie Freeman. Probably not going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer like Freddie Freeman has the potential to be, but there's always that extra juice when these two teams play, and that's one of the reasons why.
D-Mac and Reiter here, 855-97-LA Fan is the phone number if you want to give us a call. Remember, we'll do a mailbag at 5:30. We have a ton of comments, but there's still plenty of time. And if you're hanging out, if you're chilling with us, by all means, get on the chat at the Fan LA at the Fan LA. Who did I name drop this time?
Who did you?
Did I? I do it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Easy's mad at me today.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who'd you name drop? You're a really good name dropper.
Who did I? I know a lot of people.
That's what I love about you, man.
Did I name drop you? Because that's the biggest name drop I have.
Did you
Doug
name
McCain.
drop?
Who did I name drop?
I'm trying to think.
I don't. Easy. Who did I?
Yeah, let us know. Good chances at GM. Good chances I'm in the NBA.
Called me.
Doesn't have to be, though.
Called me a sociopath.
It's going hard on you, dude.
I
Go
like that
easy
one.
on my guy Bill, dude. Still
No.
take a little too far.
Go easy.
Go easy.
No, easy. You can come at me. It's fine. I love and respect that you're listening. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
on the chat
absolutely.
at the Fan LA. At the Fan LA. The dead guy. By the way, Ken Fusen's not famous, dude.
Ooh.
That's not a name drop, Easy. That's a really close friend of mine who was a great writer of the Des Moines Register that nobody really knows who he is except for people at the Des Moines Register, and he's passed away. I don't know if that's a name drop.
It's pretty awkward.
Did I make it awkward?
Pain.
That's not a name drop.
You want to get away?
I saw my neighbor Phil yesterday. What a name drop! That's not a name drop.
Right?
A name drop would be 2 days ago I texted Andy Roddick something I saw, and he was like, yeah, that was cool. That's a name drop.
Yeah.
And also a true story. I'm not mad at you, though. It's all good. Okay, so Roki, did he get out of that? Did he get out of that guy? We're doing live watch the game radio, which is the best radio that there is.
Your name drops are always They're always great because you weave them in. There's to me,
You
it's,
name drop.
Hey,
But I like it.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta talk about your experience, right? That's what I'm kind of here. But like, I would say that for you, it's like a lot of NBA, baseball, but all walks of life, celebrities, great stories, and there's also the guy that I feel like you know every single person within radio.
When I met
be like,
King Charles,
there's Bob Gazzanetti. Oh, I'm supposed to go have lunch with Bob Gazzanetti in New York. It's gonna be great. Like I feel
Bob
like
Gazzanetti. I gotta tell you, when I was 20 and I met Prince Charles, who's now King Charles, I never expected to meet so many more famous people that I would be able to bring them up on a regular basis.
That's a big one.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I love that one.
He was cool, by the way.
All timers, Bill Clinton at the porta potty. I mean, at the urinal.
Porta potty would be as awkward as a shower comment.
That was a slip.
I am Bill. What do you, Bill? It's a one-person porta potty. You gotta leave. I thought about it in the shower. Is not this? Bill. Did your co-host say you were in the shower with him?
Bill.
Am bulletproof. It's my favorite SNL skit of all time. All right, so what do we need to see from the Dodgers? And we sort of hit on this earlier. The thing here's what I'm concerned about: timely hitting. I'm concerned about the general age of most of the hitters in the Dodgers lineup. I'm not worried about Ohtani's age per se, but the knee, the pitching, obviously his production's gone down, and I'm still extraordinarily worried about the bullpen. If Roki has a bad game, and look, it's one run, it's early, we'll see what happens. The starting rotation is historically great. I'm worried about timely hitting. I'm worried about the slug of this team because of their age, and I'm worried about the bullpen.
Yeah, and we'll see. Like, that's what we're looking for tonight. Win or lose, let's hope for a close game because that means they'll be tested. I'll test it offensively, I'll test it out of the bullpen. And look, you had players talking about it yesterday that this did have some postseason-like feels. I'm a little against that. I feel like postseason games have a postseason feel if they're postseason games.
Mookie was pissed about it.
Yeah, but the fact that Mookie was feeling the way that he did, they know what's at stake. I mean, this is one of those series where if the Dodgers get swept, this is what is at stake here. This is a world where the Dodgers lose this series, and it's the reason why they don't three-peat.
Like, I agree.
That's a fact.
Tommy Edman just drove a ball into right field, into the gap. He's going to second base. Little leadoff double. That's slug, baby.
There you go. Get that slug. A little two-bagger from Tommy Tanks.
Tommy Tanks, I like that one.
Yeah, he was kind of laughing it off earlier last year just because I think his career high for home runs is 13. He had 8 couple months into the season.
Right.
Was on pace for over 30.
Did you come up with that?
I don't think I was a Tommy Tanks guy.
No?
Yeah. I'm pretty, I count my victories when it comes to the nicknames. I don't think I was a Tommy Tanks guy.
3 injuries to discuss in the injury report. Brought to you by Ozeron Law, the injured worker hotline. Injury number 1 is Shohei Ohtani's injury as it relates to being a pitcher. He is ramping back up. There's a hope and expectation he could maybe pitch this weekend. I think Sunday might be the projected date against Detroit. Injury number 2, Will Smith is very close to returning. Had a rehab start in Oklahoma City for the AAA ball club yesterday, as we've discussed earlier. Hit a home run, was 1 for 3, was behind the dish as the catcher for 5 innings, threw a runner out. And injury number 3, no yet date on this return to sort of 100%, is my co-host Doug McCain, who is either sick, oh my God, then I'm screwed, or has food poisoning and has, dude, it's amazing. It's also weird because yesterday, the day before, you asked me the sickest I'd ever been when I did radio, and you've told me that you put things into the universe.
Yeah, I shouldn't. Yeah,
you gotta be careful of that power.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
What's the word? What's the term I'm looking for?
The manifesting.
You manifest.
Can't manifest the flu. Definitely getting. And look, not only have the flu, by the way.
Can you please manifest that you have food poisoning?
Yeah, look. How about I have a clean bill of health? Yes, I'm feeling great.
Are you gonna make it?
Yeah, I'm fine. Honestly, I'm really good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just kind of think. I'm thinking about The Last Dance. I'm thinking about how Michael Jordan couldn't function before the game and dropped 38 and 7. Remember, he got that weird thing in his hotel room from 2 to 3.
You know, there's a counter theory that he basically was out partying and that he created
and he
that.
went golfing.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see it. I mean,
are the Dodgers going to strand Tommy Edman right now?
I really hope they don't.
They just, me too. Breaking news! I hope they don't either. Or don't as well. All right, little pop up there from I believe Kyle Tucker. So that's a nice little Kyle Tucker moment.
That's the story within the story, right? The Kyle Tucker, the Tommy Edman, can they produce offensively?
But he's on the road. He's supposed to be good on the road.
Supposed to be. Hasn't been yet.
Alec Thomas up now, by the way.
He's been our best hitter. That's the heart of the order now.
Which is an absolute. Alec Thomas is the guy. Alec with a K. Where do you think the K came from?
It's a good point.
It's like Alexander the Great?
He's got I was talking to Jerry Harrison Jr. about it, and he's got a great baseball family from Mexico.
Okay.
He's half Mexican, half African American. Not really sure with the name came. Alec. It's kind of a nice little. It's got funky.
It's got a little thing going on.
I like it.
All right, we're gonna keep an eye on this Dodgers game. Alec Thomas about to fly out to second, so the Dodgers are in a position where they have a leadoff double from Tommy Tanks, and they are at least about to potentially squander that. We'll let you know how that goes with Teo up, and we'll do a little hardwood headlines next here on DMAC and Reiter.
So they're the ones controlling their microphones. They told me to control the mics, all that shit. And like I literally went to break and both their mics turned off because they do it. And that just turned it back on. So that's why people do it. Anyways, that's what I think it is, but I'm not about it.
And Instagram. Nonstop news, KNX News, 1070 AM, streaming on the iHeart and Odyssey apps. And commissions. Instead, it's the cash in your hands and the team around you. Most of the big buyers out there are not direct buyers. Wedge is. So you've got a local expert who starts fresh, always one phone call away, always ready to respond. So if you want to downsize, speak up and sell inherited property, and just get some cash.
When the mics are active, he mixes out.
WedgewoodHomes.com or watch some video testing. 683-2030-800-683-2030-800-683-2030. Get that no obligation, all cash offer when you call, or go to WedgewoodHomes.com. Southern California's trusted home buyer for 4 years. NIL has changed the game of college sports forever. With the debate of who have college players, it's just beginning. College football explores the history behind the business of college sports.
How long would this song look like? Is that? Are you picking up a microphone?
That's what it was. Okay. Because there's a mic on here.
All right, little Kings of Leon in the background here on the program. It's D-Mac and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. I am going to say this to James Coe and to Raj Gropes. You guys have to chill on the picks. I'm just gonna have to, I got Raj texting me. I got James in the chat telling people to tell Doug to make his pick. Doug can barely stand up.
Let's see. I'll make my pick.
No, this is like this is Michael Jordan flu game, as
All right,
someone
see what you got.
noted. Your
On the
radio
clock.
game, and people be like, "Hey, Mike, can you like roll the basketballs back into the locker room?" Like, no, man, I can barely stand. Are you gonna make the pick?
I think I might. We'll see.
How's your team shaping up so far?
I got it's a 12-team league, so
Yep.
I got
Yep.
Puka with the 4 pick. I feel
full
great
PPR.
about that.
Yep.
Trey McBride.
Okay.
Absolute monster last year. Need a running back. I need another wide receiver.
Yep,
It's
yep.
probably it's a little too early for me. Just take Josh Allen.
I've got Bijan, I've got Pickens, and I've got what's his name, the Rams receiver. So I'm feeling
What if Jeremiah Love's a baller?
pretty good. All right, what are you gonna do about Rice, by the way?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
is there a point where you're just like, do you make moral decisions when it comes to fantasy?
Do I?
Yeah, I don't.
I don't
should.
know. I
Maybe
do
I
not.
should.
I
Yeah.
do not.
Yes, I do, because I'm not supposed to.
Oh yeah, I definitely do.
As the person said to me on the chat. All right, let's we're gonna do a sort of truncated version of this, but let's do hardwood headlines here.
Ball don't lie. Time for hardwood headlines with D-Mac and Reiter.
All right, so this is a very adjusted version because we had breaking news about an hour ago, and we're going to circle back to this as part of our hardwood headlines. In fact, this basketball coverage on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. The news is that Jonathan Kuminga, I got to pay off this tease. The Dodgers did, in fact, get a run across the plate. I don't know how they did it because we were hanging out. I was a little worried about it. I thought they were going to fall over, but it is 1-1 in the bottom of the second inning. The Dodgers had a leadoff double from Tommy Edman. They got 2 quick outs, and then it looks like Fiducia somehow got that guy across the plate with, I'm assuming, a single, but I don't. Yeah,
Little single to center.
Little single.
Bottom of the lineup has showed life. That's definitely a positive.
Never
Fiducia,
doubted him.
Thomas.
Fiducia. I would say Fiducia. 'Cause
Fiducia.
I knew a guy in high school. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Like if you knew a John Reeder, you'd have trouble calling me Bill Reiter.
It'd be tough. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I always want to call you Superman.
Took Josh Allen, by the way. Why not?
I almost did that.
Early for a QB, but
It's a little early.
I think this might have been impacted.
You like the Joe Brady sort of head coach, offensive coordinator to head coach move.
I do. I mean, you'll get the rushing yards. You got the new stadium. I think he needs to have an MVP year.
You went new stadium.
It's a factor. All things a factor.
I don't hate it.
I mean, I need to I have some big sleeper receivers and running backs.
You do.
That I hope they're on the board. That I have spent a lot of time in between these shows, kind of adding to my list.
Does it make me a bad person that I kind of hope that your sleepers are recorded on your phone that's in Morocco? Because
That was so not cool.
What? Is your phone working?
Tonight's the night.
Okay.
Tonight's
All
the
right. So here's the Harvard Headlines headline. Jonathan Kuminga, the wing whose price had plummeted at least relative to what he thought he was going to make, and a person that reportedly had some interest in, there was some mutual interest reportedly between him and the Lakers, has made the decision to in fact not be a Los Angeles Laker. He has chosen the Minnesota Timberwolves. That is where he is going to be. That is what he is going to do. That is where he's going to play. He'll do it for a shorter contract. Shams has not reported how short just yet, but he is taking less money than reportedly he was offered with your Los Angeles Lakers to go prove himself in Minnesota. And you and I are kind of divided on this. I get it. I'm probably wrong. I didn't want Kuminga in the mix, and I've given the reasons. I'm not sure how solid the footing is. A guy who has not lived up to his talent in two places, whose stock plummeted at the most important position in the National Basketball Association. I worry that he's not. I'm just a red flag I didn't want as a part of this rebuild.
At this point, I mean, that's going to be probably the bullet dodge, right? If it doesn't work out, I think the decision for Kuminga was, hey, let's choose the shorter 2-year, $13 million contract, $6.5 million per year with the Wolves. So opting for less money and betting on himself, I think I had to do a lot. I mean, the big question for me is just what were the recruiting efforts by the Lakers? Like, how aggressive was Luka or anyone surrounding the team, and how desperate were they? Because I remember weeks ago, part of their top priorities was, hey, we want to get Walker Kessler, and we also want to get Jonathan Kuminga. It was one of their top 2 or 3 priorities. At least that was reported weeks ago. But it feels like based on what he ultimately signed for, that those reports ended up not being true, that the Lakers weren't completely all in and aggressive to get him.
I also have very good news here in Harvard Headlines, here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. It's going to sound counterintuitive. It's going to sound like bad news. It's going to sound like it's not a good thing. But the good news is that ESPN.com and their NBA writers have released their Western Conference predictions, or Western Conference Finals predictions. The Thunder garnered the most sort of possible votes. They called them points in their sort of collective perspective. The Spurs were second with 74 points. The Minnesota Timberwolves were third, tied for fourth with the Nuggets and the Rockets, and then in sixth with the Lakers. Why, you would ask, is it good news that ESPN so thoroughly doubts the Lakers? Because ESPN always gets this stuff wrong. Like year after year after year, ESPN does these projections, and I think like this sort of groupthink NBA reality I talk about a lot. I think it's most pronounced. The ESPN is the tail that absolutely wags the dog. They sort of like set the conversation, and the conversation's often very, very wrong. I will just respectfully remind people that, remind ESPN, last year the idea the Spurs were going to make the finals was ludicrous to many people. Vegas had them as very low odds, but Vegas kind of follows the sort of conventional wisdom of the NBA. They got that wrong. You sort of go down the list of the last many years. I like the fact that the brain trust in Bristol don't respect the Lakers, because I think they often miss high upside teams that are harder to sort of riddle out, and the Lakers are exactly that. If it's going to work, it's going to be a surprise, but it shouldn't be shocking because they are talented if everyone can stay healthy.
Yeah, and I think that it's understandable that the 4 letters, right, that ESPN ended up kind of veering on the side of, hey, there's a lot of unknown here. We haven't seen this group.
DUMB?
No. You don't like calling it that?
No, the 4 letters, yeah.
There's 4 letters.
Oh, E and S and P. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I don't hold that company in the high esteem that many others do.
Yeah.
I don't dislike
No, I think
them,
when
but
people don't want to say it, they always say, it's the 4 letters. What? Yeah. So I think that's kind of how it goes down. But
you have 4 letters, and it's SICK. You have 6 letters. It's WARRIOR, which might be 7 letters. You're a warrior.
I'm feeling good, baby.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Shout out to Sammy getting me some
Did you
meds.
get some medication?
Getting some meds. Gonna go $4 if you want. 4's up, $4, maybe no. Drive.
No. Oh, $4.
There we go. Thanks a lot, Sammy. Really appreciate it.
Sammy, good work.
Thank you, Sammy.
Sammy doesn't have a microphone. Sammy, thumbs up or thumbs down? You agree with me? 50% chance he faints by the end of the show. Oh, we do have a microphone.
Ooh.
I say he's not going to faint.
Okay.
I think the meds are going to kick in eventually.
All right.
Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate it.
I will.
How about chat?
I will catch you.
Look, it's kicked in. Kick in, baby. It's kicked in. Let's go. We got the final hour.
All right. Do you want another?
Ready.
Do you want another one of these hardwood headlines here?
Let's hit it.
Excited about it?
Yeah.
I have to find it.
But I mean, I think that for the Kuminga. Okay.
No, go ahead though.
Well, I was saying for the Kuminga thing.
Yeah.
If the Lakers, it's too early to tell what this team even looks like. Also for the Lakers too, I'm not so sure I want them to be anointed, right? I'm not so sure I want all the reporters and everyone to go out there and say, oh, this is the Lakers. Because that's what people are going to do, right? They're going to find some way to kind of overhype the Lakers, and I think kind of ends up being unfair. Let's let the Lakers, like you point out, I love that you brought up that number, 20 games, right? And it's not some arbitrary number. It's a number that really says that that's a solid evaluation. So if this is a Laker team through 20 games is definitely impressing and turning heads, then we can start to kind of reevaluate and recalibrate what they look like. And that's not. There's a little bit of crash out though. There was a mini crash out about not getting Kuminga. Feels like it settled down a little bit.
Yeah, I think people just understand. Look, if Jonathan Kuminga were worth more than $7 to $12 million per year, then he would be making more to $7 to $12 million per year. He could be a bargain. He could be a total disaster, and I don't mind avoiding that risk. Klay Thompson, who went to the Miami Heat, has admitted that maximizing money wasn't his goal. He says he chose the Heat explicitly for the opportunity to make a deep postseason run. He told reporters, quote, I've tasted winning before, and there's really nothing like it. Even getting there and failing is better than not even having a shot at it, end quote. There are some rumors out there. It's actually just speculation from NBA reporters. It's not actual reporting, but there's a vibe, there's a sense, there's a possibility. People say that maybe the Heat will trade for Kyrie Irving. It's hard to sort of see how those numbers work. And Kyrie Irving, having covered the Heat and having covered Kyrie Irving, I've already told you my crazy Kyrie Irving stories. I wrote a very aggressive column about Kyrie Irving a couple years ago, and I was sitting at a hotel at a pool in Santa Barbara when my phone rang, and it was Kyrie Irving's agent, who's his mother-in-law or stepmom.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a little rapprochement.
So how'd that go?
Name drop.
Name drop.
I used to have a...
Hey, you dropped something. What's that name?
I have a Substack that I never do. Yeah, but Substack.com. Don't go there and pay for it because I don't ever do it. I do this, but I have all the old drops from the radio show on there, and I have a name drop because that's how often I name drop.
Oh, perfect.
Name drop.
Name drop. I'm going to add to the show?
No, because the only name that matters that I'll drop now is Doug McCain.
Oh, come on.
And unfortunately, he's about to
streets
drop.
Love
He's about to drop.
About to drop.
From sickness.
I mean, the Klay Thompson thing is interesting to me just because the Heat have had success adding those types of players. I don't think he'll ever reach the heights of course, what Ray Allen was with the Heat, but could he be a Joe Johnson? Could he be a Kyle Korver with the Bucks? I mean, could he be one of those guys?
I think it could be. Look, I'd love to see him get back to a spot where he can rock the three. He'll never be a two-way star like he was. He was so under-heralded, but I'm with you. He has winning experience. He fits that culture, and the Heat are really great at bringing out the best in whoever goes there, unless you're Jimmy Butler. All right, we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to keep it rocking. We are going to talk about Luka Doncic's revenge body and why history tells us it could be great for the Lakers next here on DMAC and Reiter.
Coming up, D-Fish and Decker.
Roki's on mound for the Dodgers, but it could be the last time we see him as a starter this season. Plus, Rams versus Chargers. We're going to see Herbert out there. Who's going to take the lead in the backup quarterback situation with the Rams?
6 a.m. to 10 a.m. 71 Fan LA.
These airways keep sending you faster with new nonstop flights to Provo from your local
Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. Phone number is 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. By the way, Tommy Edman, Tommy Tanks, back up, top of the third, runner on second, 2 outs, timely hitting alert for the Dodgers. And we talked about, look, this isn't a playoff series, and he just drove that ball to right field. That is a 2-run home run.
Ooh.
Dodgers up 3-1.
There's the slug.
So there's the slug,
Yep.
baby. Doing it for D-Mac. He can
Yes.
sense D-Mac is having a little bit of a
Big
day
bomb.
here. So here's where I'll extrapolate in a crazy kind of way. We're like, okay, it's one game, it's Atlanta, it's Tommy Edman, I get it. One thing we talked about earlier, I'm going to pull a D-Mac, I'm going to pretend that we said it, but I said it. Like, one thing that we said earlier that was brilliant, I think you said it, Doug, and it's the smartest thing I've ever heard on the Dodgers. I said it, everybody. Was when we get to the postseason, because the Dodgers do not have reliable hitters on the level they used to, not enough of them. And I think it's Ohtani, Max Muncy is kind of that's the list. Freddie Freeman certainly for average, but not for slug. Will Smith when he comes back. That maybe one of the things that the Dodgers need is just random heroics from random guys, and a little bit of that. That's a kind of variance, right? Tommy Edman having an NLDS where he's one of the more important players would be a level of variance that's not impossible, but it's a little bit of a luck box you need, and you need luck to win World Series. I know it's one game against the Braves in August. I get it, but Tommy Edman had a double earlier in the game, ended up scoring, just hit a 2-run home run with two guys out. It's just a reminder that if the Dodgers can't be the offense of old of 2 or 3 years ago, they're going to need D-Mac, just random guys to be really good. That might be the luck, the variance the Dodgers need.
Yeah, and a hitter like Tommy Edman has had success in the postseason for the Dodgers. And a lot of opposing pitchers, they're going to focus on the big dogs because when this team is at its best, the big dogs are eating. The Shoheis, the Freddies, the Mookies, the Teos, that whole group. Sometimes Edman can kind of sneak up on you, and that's kind of a big reason why he won that NLCS MVP in 2024, is that he can get big hits, he can slug, kind of sneaks up on you. He is a switch hitter, which makes him versatile. That we've talked about maybe the possibility of having him as the number 2 hitter because of the versatility there. But just being that production. I mean, this is a team that needs to generate runs in any way they can. It is a team that's a great front-running team. So giving Roki some run support, getting that offense going, hopefully it gets contagious. It's kind of more of the same, though, because if they win, it's like, oh, they won because of the slug, but you'll take a win any way you can.
And this is the thing. Like the slug is a slug, but we are used to it in the past. Coming from Ohtani at a higher rate, he still has a pretty high OPS. Coming from Freddie Freeman, coming from Mookie Betts, coming from Teoscar Hernandez, Teo. We thought it would occur from Kyle Tucker when the Dodgers made him the highest paid player in baseball history by sort of a single season salary. Though, like Teoscar Hernandez have an OPS in a series of 1150 is a shocker now in a way that it wouldn't have in a couple years. Same for all the other guys that I mentioned, even Edman. So. It's the Dodgers are probably not going to have a postseason run in which Mookie Betts and Teoscar Hernandez and Kyle Tucker and whoever I'm forgetting to mention, Freddie Freeman, look like the hitters from 2 years ago. That means they're going to have some guys just be really impressive and really hot for shorter stints. To your point earlier, a point you made, and this sort of piggybacks on this here on D-Mac and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. The Dodgers have such a remarkable starting rotation. They are so historically great, and they have so many arms they will be able to move into the bullpen, Roki being an example. He's not the only one. That you don't need the Dodgers offense to necessarily score 8 or 9 runs in a couple games in a series to win that series. It might be as simple as you got to win 4-2, you got to win 5-3, you got to win maybe it's 3-1. So it's a couple guys who step up offensively and the bullpen not bleeping the bed. And maybe D-Mac, that's enough of a recipe with the rotation they put together to pull out some series.
It does, and it is. And that's how this team won the World Series last year. It wasn't Shohei or Mookie or Freddie. He did it in 2024, but 2025 it was the Miguel Rojases who hit the biggest home run of the postseason. It was Will Smith who hit the big game winner. And I think when I look at Tommy Edman, that he's in that cluster of guys that have postseason success and they're versatile, they're good defenders, The Dodgers trust them, which is big. And with Smith-Shaver, he is a right-handed pitcher, and you have Tom Edman, who's been better as a right-handed bat this year. So it looks like this was as a left-handed batter. So that's definitely very promising, too, because when Tommy Edman gets hot, when he catches fire, he really can go on a nice run. I think that he's added to that list of guys that the Dodgers did not force back this season to go out there and come back and help this team win games. Like we've seen that with the Will Smiths and the Glasnows, the Snells. So Edman's certainly that guy. So I do think it's if I'm Dave Roberts, I'm just curious to see if he is tempted to either keep Edman at that spot in the lineup or move him up. And if he continues to produce and he's one of the more consistent hitters, maybe that's the case. Because right now you had Mookie batting third. It was Muncy fourth. Edman was batting fifth tonight. So, I mean, he's a guy that's a switch hitter. Really dangerous guy when he's right.
And it's funny. I mean, I'm going to say something that makes me the master of the obvious, like my dad used to say to me when I was, said something really obvious when I was, an obnoxious 14-year-old kid. So I try not to be an obnoxious 48-year-old man. But the conversation we're having here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, about just in the margins, the ways the Dodgers, they could just find a couple extra guys to create some run production, have some slug, drive in some runs, add a little bit of accountability offensively or consistency on top of, I think, Ohtani, Muncy, like Will Smith when he's back, is another way of saying, you can see where Andrew Friedman thought if I get a younger guy in, if I overpay in a shorter term Kyle Tucker, what we're going to get in that production is going to bridge the gap potentially between this year, next year maybe, and whatever the plan is sort of post this older group of guys, and where the Kyle Tucker fiasco and his lack of production, how bad he's been, especially at Dodger Stadium, it creates this incredible problem that the Dodgers thought they solved. They thought they'd solved it, and he hasn't. I mean, this guy doesn't even have to be great. If he was just serviceably okay, if he was 10% of what the Dodgers thought they were, or Dodgers fans expected to get, Doug, maybe we're having totally different conversations about this team.
Maybe we are, but I mean, look, your numbers are what you are. He's a .230 hitter. Bottom line,
he's bad, dude.
He's bad. He has just not performed, and we're at the point of the season where basically the only way that Kyle Tucker could save his season is postseason performance, because he could be the best hitter for this team for the last month, and it really wouldn't matter, because the truth is that he's struggled for at least 70, 80%, close to 90% of the season. So his only way to fix things is when the postseason begins and he looks at that scoreboard and his batting average goes from .230 to .00. And sometimes players have talked about that
reset.
There's a reset, and it's a good spot for a guy like him to say, okay, now we're going to go full speed ahead, and maybe a fresh start, maybe a reset is something that he needs. And I kind of hate going that route because I feel like we're always just making excuses for the guy, and I don't like to make excuses for the guy. He's failed.
No, he's failed. I mean, we are having a conversation about whether or not Tommy Edman can be a hero again, which is not look, it's a possibility, but it shouldn't be an expectation. If you are expecting Tommy Edman to carry you offensively in a series and be a series MVP, even though it can happen because it's happened, that is not a proper plan. And the reason we're having that conversation, and a lot of guys have digressed and sort of deteriorated in terms of how Dodgers players that you've come to rely on aren't reliable. But Kyle Tucker was paid to sort of bridge that gap, to be there if Teo or Mookie or Freddie weren't able to sort of maximize their abilities relative to the last few years. And that's exactly where we are. It's DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. He is Doug McCain, the best Dodgers expert, the best sports talker in Southern California, DMAC_LA on the old X. I'm on there too, Sports Reiter, Sports Reiter on all of the socials. YouTube, X, TikTok, the Xerox machine. That's just a joke to thing I said about Doug 2 weeks ago. At The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. You can also call us, 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. Here's an interesting thing, Doug. Can I kind of walk you through my positivity, Luka Doncic, why the Lakers are going to be great, why ESPN shouldn't be sleeping on this team. You ready?
Can't wait. Love
Tell me
these.
a thing. All right. I'm a big believer in revenge. I'm a big believer that many competitors, are motivated by the dark side of the force. Somewhere Burst smiled in the Philippines. He doesn't know why. The old Frank Sinatra line, the best revenge is massive, massive success. And the thing about professional athletes is that they are, to quote someone painting me in this light earlier, they are psychos when it comes to competition. What makes any all-time great, and Kobe's the epitome of this, is away from being fathers, husbands, dudes on the street, when they're competing in the arena, there's insane people. Like you and I both like Jerry Harrison Jr., Jay here.
Yeah.
Great guy, incredibly decent dude. I've bumped into him in Manhattan Beach. You get a big hug. He's so generous as a human being. I'm telling you, if you played golf or you played table tennis against Jerry Harrison Jr., he would try to just destroy you. Someday, this is a name drop, I'll tell my Isaiah Thomas golfing story, how it's the worst anyone's ever treated me, and we're friends because I was beating him in golf. And that was like a luck box moment. I'm not good at golf. I was having the round of my life. He was having the worst round. These guys are motivated, man, to destroy people. And so when they feel humiliated, when they're on their revenge tours, I think there's a world where they can be the best version of themselves. Luka Doncic, and I'm not making light of his personal life. I'm only bringing it up because I do think it can impact him on the floor. Normally, a rule for me is don't talk about people's personal lives in ways that aren't pertinent to the sport. I think it is here. And so let me just say, Luka, and whatever. I'm making no judgments. Marriage is hard. Life is hard. Relationships are hard. Parenting's hard. Luka and his the mother of his kids are having a very public separation. Part of the reason he's back home in Slovenia is and he's brought the guys over is because that's where some of those things have to play themselves out. That's a very personal thing. That comes on the heels of being dumped, for lack of a better term, in a shocking fashion by the Mavericks, which is why the Lakers were able to land Luka. So Luka has lost all of this weight. He's got this revenge bod. And it reminds me of, I'm going to just go through some examples here of why I think Luka's motivation, what's happened in his personal life, what's happened in his professional life, being sent to the Lakers against his will. Hell, he wanted to be a Maverick. That's his personal life too. Reminds me of Tom Brady and remember, Tom Brady broke up with or was basically not valued by the Patriots on the level that he should have been. And when Brady went to Tampa Bay, we all know the story now. When he went to Tampa Bay, one of the big radio sports conversations was, is Tom Brady the source of greatness for the Patriots, or is Bill Belichick? We're going to find out. We found out. We didn't know the answer then. And Tom Brady had to choose his career over his marriage as part of that. Because his supermodel wife was like, no, you stop playing football. And he's like, no. What was the result? Guy wins the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Saquon Barkley basically was told, you're not as important as Daniel Jones when he was a New York Giant. Goes to the Eagles. And the Eagles win a Super Bowl. And I know it's a team reality. That's one of the great seasons we've seen. Saquon Barkley should have been, he wasn't the MVP, was he? Was the MVP? Yeah. Was the MVP. Was the MVP. My partner D-Mac tells me. That's a revenge season. I hate this guy. But Brett Favre wanted to sort of stay as a Packer. I'm like, now we're good. Get out of here. And he eventually ends up as a Viking. People forget this. He went 2-0 against the Packers 2009 that year, including at Lambeau when everyone's booing him. And the one that I covered, so I'll bring it up, Dirk Nowitzki got his heart broken against the Miami Heat in his first finals. And what people forget is Dirk and the Mavs, who are the worst, and look, you deserve it, you're amazing, but the most unlikely NBA champion I've ever seen in this century, certainly, they weren't nearly the team that the Heat were. People forget that not only had Dirk been embarrassed or collapsed against Dwayne Wade and the Heat a few years earlier, the Heat with LeBron and with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh were up 2-1. And if you remember, Dwayne Wade, who I like, and LeBron, who I love, as you guys all make fun of me, made fun of Dirk in a hallway after Game 3 or in between Games 3 and 4, and it got caught on camera and became a story. I was there for it. It was crazy. And Dirk and the Mavs were like, okay, bleep you. It was a revenge game. So for me, D-Mac, I just think there's a world when these competitors, Messi, there's a million examples of Messi being kicked, stomped on, your new team, Barcelona. Yeah. He's bleeding. We saw Jude Bellingham piss him off, and Messi has the meme where it's okay, like the Godfather. I think there's a world where Luka's personal life and the way the Mavs sort of handled the situation, all in combination, revenge bod Luka has the chance to be added to this list.
Yeah, it's something that we hope to see because he is in a position, the prime of his career, to just, still be the greatest player in the NBA along with guys like SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Victor Wembanyama, and Joker, and guys like that. But there's just this added motivation that's really tough to quantify. And we've seen it all throughout sports. You can look at even Kobe. I mean, Kobe won the championship against the Magic, and then he came back and he won against the Celtics. And what did he say? He said, hey, this means I've won more than Shaq, right? I mean, there's all these examples. You got Tiger Woods, 2019, the Masters, coming back when everyone thought he was done, said that he couldn't just overcome and be back to Sunday Tiger. He comes back and he wins that way. So, yeah, that's That's what takes it from a really good story to a movie, right? It's you just add all these subplots in. Luka, hey, man, they made him just absolutely create a monster with him. And if this version of him and the way that he looks, just his overall appearance, is any reflection of how ready he is to start this season, you got to feel like he has big things in store.
2-out single from Ohtani. Fiducia goes to third, first and third, 2 outs. I'm going to add to that. I'm going to add to, as we sort of talk here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, your home for sports talk radio, the only sports talk radio station on the FM. We're also on the stream on YouTube at The Fan LA, as we talk about Luka Doncic's revenge bod and all the examples of sort of sports storylines where someone was wronged and they came back at their highest, strongest form. I have to include my co-host and my best friend,
appreciate
Doug
that.
McCain, because 3 days ago, actually last week, I said you didn't love Ohtani. I did a very public apology. Was that yesterday?
Yeah, it was.
Kim, it feels like a million years ago. And your response to how I treated you is to show up for work on a day where you are deathly ill, where you can barely stand, where you can barely function, and as you do every day when you're healthy, crush the radio, crush this radio show. You are, dude, it is your Michael Jordan game. You're an insane person for being here, but it impresses the hell out of me.
Hey, I appreciate that, my man. Carried the load. Hey, man, you held it down. You held it down. I was flying for a couple hours, and all of a sudden it was like,
what happened?
I was just like, but here's the thing. I love this job so much. I love this show so much. I love the fans so much. And, yeah, look, I don't got to be 100% to do this job. If I'm at like 1%, I can do this job. So, look, I'll get back to 100%. I don't need an IL stint. I'm going to be fine. And hopefully you're going to be fine, too, because you're going on little trips. I don't get you sick.
No, I'm going to New York. But you
all
know
this
what?
love is going to turn to hate.
Oh, no.
If you start to sneeze and sniffle and cough, Mr. Bill Reiter.
If I am sick for my trip to New York City with my daughter, I am going to be very mad at you. So let's...
I'm going to be texting you every like 5 minutes like, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I can't remember the movie, but to quote a movie, let's just enjoy the moment.
Okay, there we go.
Let's enjoy the moment that we're in right now. And look, this is the other thing about the Lakers and about Luka and the revenge bod that I think is worth pointing out for people that are like, well, the Lakers are going to suck. They might suck. Maybe the plan won't work. Maybe Pelinka is a total moron. Maybe Walker Kessler will double his games last year, and that'll still just be 12 played. Maybe Austin Reeves is the most overplayed, mediocre player in the NBA. I hope not. I don't think so. Well, the Pelinka stuff I'm not sure on. But it's worth pointing out, we're not talking about... we're not talking about the 15th best player in we're not talking about Paul George from 7 years ago. Luka Doncic is a top 5 player. He is a historic record-breaking consecutive first-team All-NBA player. He is still in his prime. This is Tom Brady or Tiger Woods or Saquon Barkley or Dirk Nowitzki in terms of the level he's at. He is, as you talk about some Dodgers players, as you talk about Freddie Freeman compared to Matt Olson, Luka's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's an all-time great. And so the idea that something can be unlocked in him personally and also just tactically with the guys they put around Doncic this year, we're not fishing for, can Roki be a Cy Young Award winner even? We're talking about a guy that's that good, that is that capable. And so if this is the right team around him, and even if it's not, if it's 70% of the right team around Luka Doncic, there's a world where this works because Doncic is good enough to carry entire teams. He literally is one of the, 3 players in the league who could go out in a playoff run and score 60 points in 2 different games over the course of a playoff run. If you were to have a team down a point with 13 seconds left in a game 7, and you made Doug and I draft who you want to take the last shot, Luka is the second or third guy. And he might be higher because there's a time when I would have taken Steph 1, and I love Steph. Steph's just older, man. So there is certainly something he's so good that if there's a little extra motivation, we've seen that he's lost the weight. If there's a little extra bonding, we've seen that he's flown the guys out to Slovenia. If there's a little extra excellence in the roster, to be determined, but Walker Kessler and Austin Reeves and Mamu and Colin Sexton and Cam Carr and whoever I'm forgetting, right? Like there's a world where the alchemy of a basketball team, right? The sort of magic ingredients you mix, so it works. I don't know, dude. Do I think they're going to win an NBA championship? Because Derek Fisher got kind of, not mad, but just respectfully spirited disagreement. He's like, Bill, everybody knows that these 2 teams run the West. I'm like, yeah. And everybody thought Oklahoma City ran the West last year. And everybody thought Oklahoma City was going to run the finals until Halliburton got. Divish isn't wrong. I just think there's a room for a really interesting force to rise in the Western Conference. Maybe they don't win this year, that builds. And I think it could be the Knicks because I think Luka's got that kind of talent.
Yeah, and you're getting him at his absolute peak, right? This is his prime. I think there's no doubt about it. I mean, if I have one shot, I need someone to make it. It is Luka Doncic. And that's why having him almost feels like it's having 1 or 2 stars, just because not a lot of guys can handle those moments. We haven't seen Victor Wembanyama play that great in the fourth quarter, right? Until he does, I still think that we can't anoint him as the best player in the league. So Luka Doncic, we saw when he took the Mavs to the finals, he's not afraid to hit that big shot. He's not afraid to be a competitor. Only concern I have about Luka Doncic, it's not that he's not capable of hitting the biggest shot. It's just how much does he have left in the tank when they get to May or June, just because how much he's done to put teams on his back. So that is the number one thing for the Lakers is get the best version of Luka in June. And look, you gotta have, like that you said. I mean, imagine this time last year, I was sitting here saying the Knicks are gonna win the title. You would look at me like I had 3 eyes, right?
I look at you that way sometimes, and I'm wrong.
That's a good point.
Honestly, right now you look like you do have 3 eyes.
Oh, do I?
Well, you're struggling.
I'm seeing rims. So yeah, give me
bro.
Luka Doncic. Give me Luka Doncic. Give me the ball in his hands. And it's just too early. Let the season unfold. Let's see guys stay healthy, and let's see what this new Lakers team looks like for at least a third of a season before we not give them any hope of winning a championship.
He is Doug McCain. I am Bill Reiter. That makes us D-Mac and Reiter. It's the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Call us 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. You can also hang out on YouTube on the stream at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. If you're there, slam the like button and subscribe. Mailbag time. So many great comments. You guys call me a sociopath. Questions about Mark Walter. It's all happening. We will answer those questions. No, I'm not a sociopath. I don't think. I'm sure I'm not. Next on D-Mac and Reiter. into the show. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. A lot to update you on in the last few minutes. Several things have happened all at once. First and foremost, Doug McCain, who is an absolute beast, by the way, absolute machine, as we've been talking about, because we're honest on this show, right? Stuff's going on. Stuff's going down. For better or worse, we tend to say exactly what we think. DMAC not feeling well. We don't know if he's got a little flu, something, maybe a little food poisoning. Gutted it out. Did 3.5 hours of radio, and those of you watching on the stream at the Fan LA, maybe you could see this. I think our mics were actually hot, so maybe you could hear this. The poor guy was just dying. I mean, just dying. So we have sent him home to get some sleep, to get better, to be okay. Absolutely remarkable how talented this dude is and how incredibly committed he is to be here. Trust me, radio's hard. It's fun. It's amazing. It's Peter Pan. But it's, when Doug's here, I have to be super nice to him, or I have to be super mean to him, right? It's the guy code. But he's actually the most talented radio host that I've worked with. And this is, and I'm not just saying this, and I think he's in the parking lot, so hopefully he doesn't hear this. By the most fun I've had professionally working with this guy, and just add an incredible level of respect to that, because it is not easy or necessary to grind out any radio, let alone 3.5 hours of radio with me when you're as sick as he was. So credit to Doug, but if you're watching and you don't see DMAC, that is why. He's going to go home and get a little bit of rest these last 30 minutes. If you're listening and you don't hear Doug, that is what's going on. Guy is an absolute baller. Phone number here, 855-97-LA-FAN. That is the first thing going on that's happened in the last 5 minutes. There's three things. The second thing, that's the most important, is the Dodgers had that 3-1 lead. It is the bottom of the fourth, obviously, against the Atlanta Braves, having lost that first game when they stranded Ohtani yesterday. Roki Sasaki has given up another run, second and third, only one out, and I can't tell, and maybe Aaron can figure it out. I don't have the volume on. I can't tell if he's got a blister thing going on or if it's just a performance thing. But there's a meeting at the mound. It looks like the trainer is out. Roki and his giant glove are walking off into that visitor's dugout. And so Sasaki is done for the day at 66 pitches. Dodgers still up 3-2, but runners on second and third, just one out. And we'll get you any info we can on that. I'll keep an eye, Aaron, on the old document where I know you drop stuff. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate you, pal. And then the third bit of news, this just dropped in the last 30 minutes. There is an update, and it is ugly, at least in terms of what's going on with the Buss family. Not surprising, but an update on the Buss family trust and the 5 siblings of Jeannie Buss's attempts to sell their remaining nearly 18% stake in the Lakers, and Jeannie Buss trying to stop that. This is Ramona Shelburne who's broken this story. I'm going to read directly from the ESPN.com story from Ramona. The Lakers, controlling owner Jeannie Buss, has officially challenged the legality of her siblings' vote last week to sell those shares today, on Wednesday, in Los Angeles Superior Court. Jeannie Buss's attorneys filed a petition that it claims in the best interest of the family trust to, quote, retain an interest sufficient to maintain control and to benefit from the continuously skyrocketing value, end quote. What does this mean? It, in effect, means that Jeannie Buss has done what we expected. She has legally sued her family and the trust that she's a part of to stop them from selling the remaining shares. And the other interesting thing about this breaking news here on the Lakers, according to Ramona Shelburne, is that Jeannie Buss is seeking to remove her siblings, Janie, who by all reports was very close to for a long time, and Joey as co-trustees of the family trust for what the lawsuit claims is breaching their fiduciary duty. There's arguments in here in the petition, according to the report, to basically make the case that the Buss trust cannot go below the threshold to maintain enough of a stake. It's 15%. For one of the Buss family members, it's Jeannie, to be the governor. The governor of an NBA team is incredibly important and controls the front office. So that family drama, that family dilemma has gotten really, really ugly. And it's very, very unfortunate. So if you're just joining us here on DMAC and Ryder on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, Doug McCain is sick as can be, and this dude gutted out 3.5, not just 3.5 hours of radio. Doug did 3.5 hours of radio unable to stand, better than most people do radio in a month when they're at peak health, myself included. So that guy isn't, what a warrior, dude. I mean, I hope DMAC's able to come in tomorrow, but it cannot praise the guy enough as just a person that's done a lot of radio, that he put in that kind of a shift, feeling the way that he felt. One of you in the chat earlier said it was his flu broadcast game. Hell yes, that's exactly right. Doug can't be the hero of the day, which we're going to reveal in about 15 minutes because we have a rule we can't, but maybe we'll just make him an honorary hero of the day because that was amazing. Dodgers still clinging to that lead. It's 3-2. They've gone to the bullpen here in the fourth. They're the runners on second and third with one out. We'll keep updated on how that is going. And then Jeannie Buss, as we just told you, has officially sued in court, a petition in court here in Los Angeles, federal court, to try and stop her family, her siblings from selling the remaining part of the team. Let's get to the mailbag. You can do that over on the stream at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. I know some of these are addressed to DMAC. He's not here, so I'll just go through these and answer these as best I can. T-Rex 12, I actually like the take that Freddie should be leadoff and Ohtani in the second hole. Makes a lot of sense with how often Freddie gets on base. Okay, so Doug, actually, in fairness, Doug doesn't hate it. Doug kind of likes it. He just, it's not a typical take because Freddie Freeman is remarkably slow, and you want guys, obviously, in the leadoff spot to be able to run those bases. Here is my view on this, and T-Rex, I'm glad that you like it. And some of you pushed back in the chat today that Ohtani is not clutch enough as a hitter. There is certainly some evidence to suggest that. I trust Ohtani in those high leverage situations. I think he's going to be just fine. Also, the question that you guys have, I think, is about playoff baseball in a sort of a seminal moment. Shohei Ohtani is going to be fine in August, having big hits. He had a triple yesterday, led off the ninth inning against the Braves, down 4-3, and obviously Freddie, Mookie, and Tommy Edman unable to get him across. I like Ohtani moving down in the lineup because I want to give him opportunities to drive in more runs. I think the sort of big stat here that's worth pointing out here on DMAC and Ryder on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I'm Bill Ryder. DMAC just went home. I'm not feeling well. I think that the main stat is Ohtani has 30 home runs this year. 15 of them are leadoff home runs, where obviously there's nobody on base. And the reason I would put Freddie there is because, and I saw Ohtani had some wheels yesterday on the triple, but it's not like they want Ohtani stealing a lot of bases. I think he had one over the weekend. That's not the thing that they want because of his knee and his health. Freddie Freeman is by far the Dodgers' best hitter in terms of batting average. He has a great on-base percentage. And my sort of deep dive stat is that when he's not hitting in the 2-hole, he's hitting .326 this year. Because batting averages are down across baseball, .326 would be the batting crown if the season ended today. Literally, when Freddie Freeman doesn't hit in the 2 spot, because the 2 spot's a weird, cursed black hole, we don't know why, for Dodgers players this year, when Freddie Freeman does not hit in the 2 spot, he is the best hitter in baseball. So I want the best hitter in baseball, when on the 2-hole, to get on base a bunch and have Ohtani drive him in. So T-Rex, I'm glad that we sold you on it. BL Boyd, Bill, did you not see No-Show crap himself in the 3rd and 4th innings? If there was runners in scoring position for him in the 9th, he'd probably Ks. I mean, I did see it. I get what you're saying. I understand it. So and here's how I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but here's how, why I think it's worth the risk. And it's weird criticizing Clayton Kershaw after watching him be an absolute, he was awesome in the booth yesterday. I held out for a long time because I was doing local radio here in LA, and then I was doing national radio talking Dodgers a lot. I held out for a long time making the case that Clayton Kershaw wasn't great or there was an issue in the playoffs. Because at a certain level of greatness, right, at all-time greatness, I need a really big sample size to be convinced that that person has some kind of mental block when it comes to high-leverage situations, runners in scoring position, playoff baseball, whatever, pressure moments. And I was wrong on Clayton Kershaw. Like, the guy wasn't good enough in the playoffs. I know he sort of recovered at the end of his career, had some impressive moments, got it. But the reality, the unfortunate fact is Clayton Kershaw was not as good of a pitcher. Over a 4.00 ERA in the postseason, sub 2.5 ERA in the regular season. Unquestionable. I'm going to apply the same logic to Shohei, even though it didn't work out with Clayton Kershaw, and give him BL Boyd a lot more grace. I think Ohtani's fine. I think he's got it in him. Doug and I brought this up earlier here on DMAC and Reiter. And I know he was pitching, but Shohei Ohtani, 3-4, whatever it was, time is meaningless to me now, against Mike Trout in the WBC final game, final moment, striking out his teammate in an at-bat in a duel for the ages, that's as stressful, as high pressure, as high impact as you can have, and the guy was fine. His nerves did not impact his ability. So I hear you, BL Boyd. I got it. I saw it. You have a reasonable thing for us to keep an eye on. If you want to do like a light, low-key, sort of on a scale 1 to 10, 3, Shohei Ohtani doesn't do well in high-pressure situations, watch. I will do like a light watch with you, but I think it's going to be just fine. Sammy B23, we're doing the mailbag here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. You're just hearing my voice, Bill Reiter. That's me. What's up? Thanks for hanging out. Because my guy DMAC is not feeling well, and he wanted to stay, but we cut him. We're like, get out of here for 30 minutes because he was powering through. Sammy B23 writes, how are the guys feeling about Alek Thomas in his last few games? He's got a few RBIs under his belt and not a bad glove on him. Yeah, this is something that Doug pointed out. That DMAC, when Eric Lauer became a Dodger, I said that he sucked. And DMAC goes, whoa, the Dodgers pretty good at making pitchers work. And when Thomas had to take that spot because of the injury to Andy Pages, I kept my mouth shut. And I just let Doug tell us what was going on, which is, Alek Thomas has some ability. The guy swings an okay bat. He's very athletic. He's got a good, he can, he's not bad defensively. And you're right, Sammy, he's been okay. He's been good. He's not a solution long-term, but he's that thing we've been talking about a lot today, that the Dodgers are going to need some surprise contributions here and there for however long Kyle Tucker and Teoscar Hernandez and Mookie Betts underperform relative to their historical career abilities. And Freddie Freeman's been pretty good, but hasn't hit a home run since July 4th, so put him in that category with an asterisk. T-Rex 12 again. Yesterday's ninth inning was painful. No notes. I completely agree. All right, we've got a bunch more comments. I want to get through these. We will try to do that here on DMAC and Reiter. So we'll continue with the mailbag, and we will rock and give you a very deserving DMAC and Reiter Hero of the Day when we return in a moment on DMAC and Reiter. Wednesday. Remember the James Coe Show coming up after us, 6 to 10 p.m. Hang with us all day long, live and local, the only sports talk radio station in L.A. that does that from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every weekday. The only one on the FM, the only one that you need. D. Fish and Decker, 6 to 10 in the morning. Brock and Alex midday in L.A., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Obviously, Doug and I are here chilling, hanging out. Thanks for being with us, 2 to 6. And the Great James Coe Show with the Great James Coe, those go together, right? After us, 6 to 10 p.m. I am Bill Reiter. My dude, Doug McCain, is not here. He's not feeling good. He did 3.5 hours of incredible radio, which he always does. What is unusual and impressive is that he did it, I shouldn't laugh, very sick. Basically couldn't stand. We were worried about him. So even though we want to see it through, he already did his Jordan game, and we sent him home, hopefully to get better. So this is D-Mac and Reiter. Right now it's just the Reiter part, but it's D-Mac and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. Thank you to Aaron and Sammy for the great work they're doing, producing, and Sammy, of course, always our very talented, hardworking social media person. Birch is in the Philippines on this nine-week vacation, so we love having Aaron here doing his thing. Appreciate him. Thank you to Sammy, as always. And thank you for listening wherever you're doing it, however you're doing it. Some bad news. The Dodgers, I guess, somewhat got out of the inning, but not without a bunch of damage. Those 2 runs got across the plate, so Atlanta now up 4-3 here in the top of the 5th inning. Roki Sasaki didn't even make it 70 pitches, and so the Dodgers, again, are going to have to sort of scrap and battle and try to get another run across the plate. Let's, or a couple. Let's do the old D-Mac and Reiter Hero of the Day award. We had some great nominees. I tried to put the Bus Brothers on there. I know none of you want the Bus Brothers to be. None of you voted for them. They got 0% of the vote. The report today: Jesse and Joey, the younger siblings of Jeannie. There's been some pretty sordid reporting. Sordid is the wrong word. There's been some reporting about Jeannie's perspective on her younger brothers that is just ugly in terms of family dynamics, very Succession. They are reportedly a small percentage of the new Padres ownership group, which I know turns many of you off because Lakers family members now going to be a part of the Padres feels like a betrayal. I get it. I still nominated them. They didn't get any votes because they're looking for something to do in sports, and they've got this money to spend, and they want to be involved, and they want to carry on their dad's legacy in some sort of sports enterprise. And even though San Diego's not L.A., it's not far, and so I'm not mad at them. A lot of you are, though. We also had Barcelona get some votes, 15% of the vote, just because they provoked a strong reaction from one of Doug's friends because Doug became a Barca fan. Luka Doncic got a good number of votes for bringing his dudes to his home country and for his revenge bod that's making the rounds. But Clayton Kershaw dominated. And for his broadcast appearance with Joe Davis yesterday, let me say this too, and we'll see if he wants to do more of it. Doug and I didn't really hit this a lot. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Clayton Kershaw is an absolute natural in the broadcast booth. And I'd really like Doug's perspective. I say this a lot because it's 100% true. Doug is the best Dodgers expert person, reporter, media member, whatever, in Southern California, which makes him anywhere in the world. And so I really want his view on this. So I'll give you like 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and then we'll chop this up when D-Mac is back. It's D-Mac and Reiter. If you're just tuning in, we made Doug go home because he's really, really sick, and the guy's a warrior, did 3.5 hours of radio. The thing I like about Kershaw in the broadcast booth is how remarkably different he is than Kershaw, who I thought Kershaw the person was when he was Kershaw the player. And this is a me thing and an us thing. You don't know these athletes you root for sometimes. You know them as competitors. You know them as sort of executors of whatever they're trying to do. Clayton Kershaw, second best pitcher I've laid eyes on in my lifetime after Greg Maddux, but you could put him 1, you could put him 3, you could put him... I mean, the guy's a legend, but he always felt kind of closed off or distant or I don't know, maybe a little unlikable, which is fine. He wasn't a bad guy at all, right? And in retrospect, he was just locked in. Because his personality and how funny it is and his comfort and his, you know what it is? His authenticity in the broadcast booth, coupled with how much he clearly loves baseball and obviously how much he knows about it. Is he a great, does he analyze the game in an incredible way? Yeah. Is his insight incredible? Of course it is. The guy's an amazing hang, right? I felt like I was having a beer with Clayton Kershaw watching that game, and we didn't get the same amount of airtime. But when he was doing some sideline stuff for NBC Sports earlier in the year, it was a shorter glimpse, but a very similar glimpse. And so, all of you voted him for Hero of the Day. And I don't know how you fit this in because I love Orel Hershiser too. I think Orel's amazing. I think his insight's incredible. And Kershaw and Orel both have the same thing. They say things about baseball that sort of make me go, oh my God, I've never thought of that way. They see the game in a way that's very unique. I just really enjoyed getting to see a different side of Kershaw's personality. It's almost like watching him with Joe Davis yesterday was getting to know the real Clayton Kershaw. On top of the fact he's, the best Dodger, probably one of the 3 best Dodgers of all time and one of the best pitchers of all time. So Clayton Kershaw, well-deserved, Hero of the Day, D-Mac and Reiter, Hero of the Day. And I really want to dive into that a little more with Doug when we have time. There's a lot going on today. I mean, we talked about the Dodgers not able to get Ohtani across the plate. Yesterday, we talked about Dave Roberts and let you hear Dave's frustration and anger. We had the breaking news. If you missed this, Jonathan Kuminga has made the decision. He's going to be a Minnesota Timberwolf for less money, and we think less years, according to Shams, than what he could have been with the Lakers. And I have I don't know, unpopular, counterintuitive. I don't know what it is. I think it's the right take. I think it's okay. I some of it's vibes and some of it's the red flags of Kuminga's career at Golden State and Atlanta. But I'm sort of glad he's not a Laker. But we had that going on. That breaking news popped up. We had a lot of stuff happening. So we didn't really dive into the fact that the best Dodger of this generation, the best Los Angeles Dodger in history, second maybe only to Sandy Koufax, was in the broadcast booth yesterday and was an absolute natural. And so Doug and I, D-Mac and I, when he's back, we'll see if it's tomorrow. Hopefully it's tomorrow. We will get into Kershaw a little bit more. We'll go back here to the old mailbag on D-Mac and Reiter here on the new 97.1. The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I will flip you the bird. Said to Mario Verde 2022, what's D-Mac and Reiter's take on Walter today? Is he going to have to sell? So this is another thing we didn't get to today. Jeff Passan has a TV show, and Jeff's obviously a friend of Doug's and of mine, also of this show. Passan's perspective is really interesting, but I think the short version is it doesn't sound like it. Some of what Passan put out there, and and it's very turn of the screw. It's very just sort of, water drops rather than a flood of information. But in the financial press, very different obviously than the sports media, it sounds like the view out there, not definitive, but to answer your question, no, we don't think so. It sounds like the Dodgers world is cordoned off a little bit. Their revenue that the Dodgers create is robust enough. The speculation goes that Walter may be insulated. I think there's a sense that maybe he can raise the money that he needs to. So it sounds like the Dodgers could be okay in that respect, but we're not entirely sure. And we're going to monitor, of course, here for you on this show and all the shows on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. BL Boyd writes, I think Roberts. So we talked earlier about Roberts looking frustrated, or I said old, and Doug looked at me like I was crazy, but I couldn't tell if it was the comment or how sick Doug was. So not old. He looked worn out and frustrated, Dave Roberts, in his post-game press conferences and his pregame sort of conversations. Here's BL Boyd's take on that in the mailbags here on the show, here on D-Mac and Reiter. I think Roberts is pissed at himself for coddling the vets for years because it's too late now to be turning over tables. He is stuck with the undisciplined at-bats. That is a really smart take, and I'm going to have to think about that for a while, and I want to run it by Doug again. But I do think, and this is, I always bring this up. I love the disease of more as a concept. It's a psychological reality. Pat Riley wrote about this in his autobiography. Anything that leads to success makes it hard to hold on to the habits that got you there. It's just anything. And so, yes, I think that the way that Roberts managed these, I wouldn't say coddled necessarily, but part of Dave Roberts' approach has been to be extremely close to Mookie Betts. And I think it's Doug who said it's almost like a baseball father-son relationship. In a lot of ways, Mookie becomes the extension of Dave Roberts in that clubhouse, which is important when you have a 162-game season. In the Dodgers' case, many, many baseball games on top of that. And so it's hard to unwind that. It's when you've invested all of this leadership and all of this sort of this role of authority in a guy like Mookie Betts and your Dave Roberts, it's hard to roll back. And when you don't have another guy at shortstop, it's hard to know what the alternative is. And when you have a situation where it's not just him, but it's Teoscar Hernandez and it's Kyle Tucker and it's a whole Will Smith is injured, you don't have offensive production from 2 or 3 or 4 spots in the lineup you anticipated. It's not like you can sort of let Mookie hit 6 or 7 and just get by without it being a problem. So I do think the Mookie Betts deal is a much bigger issue for LA than just the reality that he's not playing at the same level. I think his role in the clubhouse, look, the surliness that I have pointed out and that you hear, if you listen to Mookie give answers, they're like, okay, he's a little surly. If you listen to the question of the answer, it almost crosses into disrespect. And I think that's a difficult thing when one of the most important chemistry culture guys in your clubhouse is miserable as hell. We did not get to all of the mailbag. There's a bunch of them. So it's a thank you and an I'm sorry. Thank you for everybody for listening. Doug and I really appreciate you. Sorry we didn't get to all of the questions. We really tried to or get to a lot of these comments and statements. We'll keep some of these for tomorrow. Please add them tomorrow. Hang out with us, YouTube, at The Fan LA. At The Fan LA. I'm done. Hopefully Doug's back tomorrow and feeling better. That guy's an absolute warrior. James Coe, don't go anywhere. James Coe, great show. The James Coe show. The James Coe show coming up. I'll see you tomorrow. This is D-Mac and Reiter.